Okay, hello everybody. Doing the recap of the classical portion of the World Cup. So there we go. So the biggest news, of course, is that Magnus managed to win today and take his revenge for the first game. Let's look at both games. There are not that many matches left, so you know the job is a lot easier now, yeah, compared to the previous. All right, so this was game number 1. We see a classical thing. Queen's Gambit declined. Carlsen variation, except as bishop b4 and as bishop f4. It's not bishop h4, which everybody plays automatically, but it's bishop f4. Is there a difference? The difference that bishop can go to e5 after g5. Yeah? Bishop f5 supposedly main line. Just trade. Okay, bishop e5 anyway, and I like h3 with idea of g4. Okay, logical. Yes, preparing also bishop h2 and knight f6. Bishop is safe. It's kind of surprising that, you know, white traded the light squared bishop and kept his dark squared bishop, but overall I think it looks very equal. I'm also very surprised that black didn't just play bishop c7, trade the bishops, because the Carlsen without bishops, where black just plays knight e4 or goes for h5, g6, doubles on the e file, you know, it looks very equal. I would say that black has even better chances. But okay, he's Magnus, so let's see, queen e7. But after b4 you have to play this a little bit ugly move, bishop d8. Probably he wanted to keep the bishops alive, so he has a chance to play knight b6, c4. Fix the squares on the light squares. Hello guys, hey Dubios. Zixi Fi Chess, okay. So, yeah, so maybe that's why black wants to keep this bishop. Potentially bishop goes here to attack these guys, again b5, a5. White queen on d3 is not ideally placed, that's usually the place for the knights, so he wants to go obviously for the minority attack. But knight g3 first. Yeah, I'm not buying this move. It is third line, but knight doesn't look that great here. Considering that f3, e4 really is not going to work. So, yeah, bishop c7 first line. Finally the trade, but the knight on f5 again is easily chased back after g6 or h5, g6, and the knight has to go back here. But white just wants probably to trade pieces, and he needs to go for b5. Black plays this. Logical, yeah. Okay, this is one of those moments where like you play b5 pretty much automatically, because then knight goes to c4. And you see the evaluation after b5, black is a little bit better, because white doesn't have any breaks, and there is not much stopping this maneuver. I don't really understand why black didn't play b5, but okay, he wants to play knight c4, but after taking on a5, you know, white has very clear counterplay, yeah? And especially queen b4, so rook takes. Oh, I know what he missed. He missed knight takes d5. So after b5, knight c4, this is all forced. You have to take queen a5. Otherwise, you know, white plays e4. I'm pretty sure Magnus missed this knight d5 thing when he was going for this line. Thankfully for him, black is still okay. Rook a3. But this pawn structure is very, very passive compared to white's you know, compact center. The threat is potentially knight e3, but of course right now it's impossible because of queen e8. So white plays queen c5, I think is correct, because in the end game again you'll have pressure on these guys. Black will be worse. Rook takes, knight f5 is correct. Preparing g4, aggressive luft for the king. The pawn in the instructions, Carlsen usually always goes to g4 to prevent f5. In addition, knight goes to d6. Small advantage white. h5, black also wants to chase the knight, obviously, from this very active square. And rook a2. I don't understand this move. Well, why does the computer like this move so much? This I can't understand. Like, you can play rook a1 immediately, or you can play rook b3 with the idea of rook a2. Like, what is the threat for white? And then you just go rook a2 and then doubled rooks here. What is the problem? I don't see the problem, actually. King g2, knight d6, and then... Yeah, this is a little bit mysterious move. And then he plays rook a1 anyway, yeah? See, he could have played rook d2 and double the rooks. Because, you know, doubling the rooks on the 2nd and 7th is classics, yeah? Take, take. King goes to f8. Logical. I like g5. Again, pawn goes as far as possible to create potential mate threats. You know, passive stuff. And knight c7 is a huge blunder, after which Magnus is blundering a pawn, yeah? So this blunder cost Magnus a game, because if he plays knight e7, he probably draws the game. But he blundered the rook f5, and this pawn is hanging, and white is actually pretty much winning here. So the knight endgame, but the knight endgame is 95. Yeah, actually Vincent played this game really, really well. So this is completely won. And of course, you know, Vincent played really well this game, and now this game he played like, I don't know. That was the hard part to accept. Good evening, Mr. Portugal. Olaisi, okay, great. Who else did I miss? Lax King. Prague and Vincent tomorrow. Yes. Don't count out on Prague. That is also true. I actually disagree. The Lee Chess article is horrifying. What is wrong with the Chess Federation as St. Louis Chess Club? I have no idea what you're talking about. What am I doing here? Why am I spending all this time playing classical chess, which I find stressful and boring? Yes, I actually read that interview. Bon nuit, Mr. Portugal. Bon nuit. Well, it's not yet bon nuit, it's bonsoir still. So, bonsoir and adieu. Bonsoir à tous. Bienvenue Gata Kamsky channel. S'il vous plaît, vous comfortable and present World Cup classical match. All right, let's go back to English. That's the extent of my French. Okay, so we have Vincent playing Spanish game, and he goes for, yeah, so d3. Pretty much white does not play for an advantage in the opening. He wants to take the game to the middle game and just have something to play with. Yeah, so not facing forced lines. But it's so hard to, yeah, see bishop g5 is like really rare here. And d6. I'm a little surprised about d6 because I think b5 and d6 is like, should be pretty much automatic. Yeah, it stops classical archangel with g5 coming and bishop here and bishop e6. Black is absolutely zero problems. And after d6 he ran into d4, which I think still is okay. And I'm very surprised. Well, okay, it makes sense, yeah. b5 is extremely interesting because after this transposition, I think black is very close to equal here. Opposite color bishops, not a lot of pieces to play. This pawn, you can attack it, but you know, in the meantime, black can hit this guy, so I don't know. I think black is fine here. But it's very sharp and probably white is prepared. So that's why he took here. In general, black got a decent position. Expected knight c6, yes, because the pawn chain is kind of okay for black. Knight c3, black is certainly fine. And actually black missed an advantage here. Okay, let's take a look at what black missed, and I want to show it to you again, which is incredible. So Magnus plays this move, and both of them miss knight takes e4. I don't understand this. How can both of you miss knight takes e4 and black is just winning and knocks Magnus out of the competition? Have you guys seen this? Yes, it's amazing to me, because after knight takes e4, the tournament is over for white. If you take here, queen takes e4, and black has 2 extra pawns, he is getting back the piece. Probably bishop f6 is the only chance. But even then, you can just do this, yeah? Check, check, and again, 2 pieces are hanging. It's just a win. At the very least, it's a draw. This, I do not understand. How can you, you know, you have 43 minutes, right? How can you miss this? This is why Magnus deserves to win tomorrow, because if you miss a chance like this in a classical portion game, pretty much you don't deserve to qualify. Yeah, I don't want to talk about who deserves and who does not deserve, but something like this is the chess goddess. She is not going to forgive, okay? She gives you a chance, but if you don't take her gift, she's going to punish you, okay? You know, that's what I'm saying. This was a huge chance for Vincent. If he misses knight e4, he actually had, you know, even he missed this, yeah, he's still having a very decent endgame. You know, he plays really well here, you know, puts knight on e6, correct, everything. Then he plays extremely passive. That I don't get. He could have played c5, bishop c6 immediately instead. He does this. He does a roundabout way about playing c5 and gives white a lot of tempos. Nevertheless, he's still fine. He's still fine, but yeah, this should be like immediately hit, yeah? Going for a5, hitting this guy, because you have knight d4. Also, white has no breaks at the moment. The only break white has potentially is if he plays f4 and e5, which you can actually prepare for by putting rook on f8. Okay, put the rook on f8, king like goes back, and then if white plays e5, you take, and play f5, and black is fine. Okay, so this position is actually better for black. So despite missing the early chance, Vincent here, he has a superior endgame. But then he starts to play incredibly passive chess. Okay, this is okay. See, the computer puts the king on h7. The computer is very smart because he understands that white is going to play f4, e5. White has no chance of playing b4. He has to protect this pawn on constant basis. And let's see, rook b8. Okay, but now that the knight is here, to play rook b8 makes absolutely no sense. You can try to play a5, but he was probably afraid of a4 and then bishop hitting this pawn, even though it's easily protected. And then if you play a4, your pawns are garbage, yeah? The only thing you have to worry about is knight b5. But even then, if you have knight b5, knight has, like, the only function is knight takes d6. Okay, so he keeps the pawn on a6, pretty reasonable. And king g8 is correct. So, but this is the beginning of something, I don't like this. He puts knight on f7. With the idea of stopping e5, yeah? But knight is very, very passive there. I don't like this maneuver. I like this knight on e6. I think this knight should just remain here. And black should just probably stand, yeah? He was worried about king c3, b4. Let's see how real this is. Okay, it is real because the computer plays a5. And what is this? Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So let's see. Knight d8. For example, if knight here, then you play knight f7, and then you stop this. So white cannot play knight b1, and he has to play f4. So it's probably going to be like in the game, yeah. Bishop g1, probably rook e8, bishop h2, and yeah, you can just go back, because if e5. What if you prepare a5, if you play rook e3, then knight e6, e5, yeah, then you play d5, yeah, so you need the rook on the d file, yeah. If you play e5, apparently there is this, hitting this guy. And then knight goes to c6 and to d4 with a huge effect. Yeah, so again, play it carefully, yeah. So he actually does this. He plays knight d8 is fine. a5. Oh, and he plays a5 at the worst moment, yeah. Knight f7 first, of course. Knight f7 first. You stop e5, you force the bishop moving. Yeah. I think he just, you know, completely he forgot about e5, yeah. He wanted to play knight f7 pretty much, and then he just allows white to go e5, and now white is better. Yeah, probably he thought he can play a4 here or something, but it's just a pawn, you know? Just a pawn. So now he has to take, and black has actually has a weakness for the first time in the game. Okay, a4 is reasonable. I have no qualms about this move, but white has potential pass pawn now, and these are double guys, yeah. Advantage white, just because of one careless move, not looking for your opponent counterplay. Is checks, captures, threat the practice that the GM follows in every move to not miss anything? I don't know. Thank you for subscribing, you're Swiss. Is there a reason why Magnus plays? He wants to win the World Cup for the first time. The last title that he needs, and then he can retire with clear conscience. Chimera exchange queens in 18 seconds. Because, you know, he was probably already calculating this line, but I'm pretty sure Magnus saw knight takes e4. And then he has this poker face, yeah? Because there's no way Magnus didn't see knight takes e4. I'm pretty sure he's seen that. So this is a draw, but this is not an easy draw. And he starts to make mistakes, yeah? Again, knight on f7 is a big problem, yeah? When the knight was on e6, he was protecting so many things, hitting so many squares. Like knight on f7 sucks. That's why I didn't like putting the knight on f7 idea. I think knight on e6 was best place for the knight. It just wouldn't touch this guy actually, because knight on f7 is very, very passive, and now white is equal material. Bishop hits this weakness. You have always to worry about the rook getting to the e7. Rook is very passive, has to protect both of these guys, and of course if white ever gets a5, a6, it's like instant huge advantage. So every white piece is much better than black counterpart. Okay, bishop d7 going after this pawn, but now white activates his pawn. Knight f3 is the first line move. Yeah, because if you take this pawn, it's just a5, a6, a7, and then the rook goes to b8, and you're pretty much done for. Yeah, you need knight f3 to force this knight, because this knight attacks the guy, and this knight also takes away key squares from the bishop if you want to keep this pawn under cover. So a5 still equal. Rook b4 apparently is a good move, but to be honest, this is a very difficult position for black to play. And this is not correct, yeah. Yeah, I imagine that g6 is not easy move to spot. Not an easy move to spot. I would probably consider playing king f7 here, but oh, okay. King f7 is not good. Yeah, you really need to trade this guy. You really need to trade him. That's why the computer plays g6. And then king g7, but yeah, h5. But this is already very problematic, because white has these two pawns rolling. You have one pawn. Very hard to defend this position. Magnus is extremely good in these type of technical positions. I mean, Vincent is a good technical player also, but compared to Magnus, he's just Magnus on another level playing these things. See, this is a mistake. Huge mistake apparently. Because after rook f5 you cannot hit this guy. With the bishop here you potentially have bishop e2. That's why the computer plays this at the cost of this pawn. But now bishop controls, hits this pawn and hits this pawn. Most importantly, the king is out of the box. Still, like here, and you don't have time for rook c7. Yeah. So black had some chances, but he, what is this, 5 minutes left? Okay, 5 minutes left, you cannot defend this position with 5 minutes. With 5 minutes on the clock, you cannot defend this. He was probably thinking about bishop d5, but this is, unfortunately from Vincent, looks completely winning for white. I'm pretty sure he was calculating this, but yeah, it doesn't look so good. Still, according to the computer, it's a draw. Because this is definitely not good. And after this is just lost. He missed king b4 and king b3 and then it just resigns, yeah. Because the pawn goes to a7, gets game over. Yeah, well, what can I say? Yeah, if you miss, he missed knight takes e4 chance and then he missed white's e5. So Vincent made two mistakes. First mistake, he had advantage. Second mistake, he missed equal position. I think that he will be very upset, and it's very hard to get over these misses overnight. And because he had a real chance to knock out Magnus Carlsen, beat him in the World Cup match, and that's gonna nag. And it's not something he will forget overnight. These mistakes are very, very hard on a pro player. Okay, you start doubting everything. You start, thinking like, how could I miss this stuff? Yeah, and then you're not in this right mind frame that he needs to play tie breaks tomorrow. So, especially after this last game, I would say Magnus has a huge psychological advantage, and Vincent is not bad in rapids. I played him in rapids. He is definitely not bad, but after this game I have serious doubts if he's gonna recover. And Magnus still better, yeah, so tie breaks, Magnus advantage. Alright, next match. Sanal versus Ivanchuk. So Sanal is doing the Korbov thing, yeah, he did draws with Korbov and then he beat him in the rapids. I fear for Vasily. When is the tiebreak? Tiebreak is tomorrow. Alright, did you see Fabio versus Robson? Well, I'll get there. Yeah, of course Magnus saw it. And that's what you should do. If you blunder something, get up immediately. Get up immediately, and because your body language will betray you most of the times if you're not pro player. If you blundered, your body language will betray you, okay? It's just very hard. That's why you need to stand up immediately, and ideally you should stand up after every move, because if you've been sitting the whole game and suddenly you stand up, it's also a tell, yeah? So ideally you make a move, you stand up. and you build, because you need to stand up to, first of all, to allow for the regeneration of your blood circulation. If you sit too much during the game, your blood circulation kind of starts to restrict, and your brain needs the blood flow. Okay, so when you get up after a move, you move around, you regenerate this blood flow. It's actually very good for your brain. It's a good practice. Okay. So if you say that he stood up immediately and left to the bathroom, perfect, because he realized, he is about to be eliminated from the World Cup. He was actually very lucky. So, Kais actually favors Magnus in this tournament. I think in a couple of games he was very close to being eliminated. All right, so Sanal versus Ivanchuk. Yes, even in the opening, why not? Just build it. This is just a generally good habit. Okay. I stand up in the openings especially. Why? Because if there are people playing in the hall, you're supposed to walk around other games and check everybody's openings. Because maybe somebody plays the same thing as you. Okay, maybe somebody plays some other game and you watch it live, and your mind switches and refreshes, and then you come back to your game. Your mind is refreshed, re-blooded, circularized, and ready to roll. Okay, so in general, it's good. Just everything is in good dosage. Yeah. So, all right. So Vasily plays c4. It's Slav, and this guy prepared this guy prepared this bishop e7 in pretty amazing and solid way of playing chess. Queen's Gambit declined, Lasker variation. 98 is okay. Knight e8. Yeah. I suppose the main line should be this, but after 96, black is even better because white spent too much time playing these moves. Yeah. Yeah, you were supposed to play stuff like, bishop here, develop. But of course, if you play bishop here, black takes on c4, and then there is c5. A lot of theory here. I like how black just plays for a draw. He just says, I'm worse, but I'm gonna eventually equalize because I'm gonna trade everything. And I'm gonna play this opening which has been played for 200 years. Nobody refuted it. This Queen's Gambit decline has been the staple of the world top players for a very long time. Very solid. Actually, great choice, yeah, for the classical portion. I might consider actually taking it up because it's so bloody solid. All right, so take, knight d2, but knight f6 back, and c5. I like c5. You have to take, black takes with the queen, knight b3, the queen c7, and black gets, symmetrical position. You have to play rook c1, correct. Have to take, and knight f6, bishop f3, and yeah, according to the computer, you have to play e5 equalizes. After rook d8, white is a little bit better. Yeah, but this is incorrect. Your king should be in the center. Your king should be in the center. He was probably worried about e5 and e4 idea, but as you can see, after rook d1, white is just suddenly has a large advantage, because e5 is actually a big responsible move. You're disconnecting your pawns. Potentially this could be weakness, or white can force you to play e4. If you're forced to play e4 with these bishops, knight getting the square, black is in a long fight for a draw. Which is why black doesn't really want to play e5 in these positions. He just wants to run king here, rook here, bishop to e8, and defend. Yeah, castling I think is incorrect, because if you need to run your king back to the center eventually. So rook here, b6, and this is logical, but after bishop d7, apparently it's equal. Apparently it is equal. because black managed to protect everything. Pawns on the dark squares away from the influence of the bishop. All these squares are under control. This knight, it looks beautiful, but is now completely useless. The only plan for white I can see is playing like a3, b4, b5 and try to get the pawn to c6. But it's gonna like take a long time, and black is ready to trade everything. Yeah. So I imagine knight c6, but then it's nothing. Yeah, and rook d2 or g5. Yeah, rook d2 is correct. Yeah, and then just king comes. Yeah, with one pair of rooks, the bishop has no targets. Black has easy draw. Rook c7 runs into rook d8 probably, yeah, and rook d2. King here. Knight e8 stops rook c7. Black is ready to move the king and bring the knight back, or knight d6 actually, yeah, because if check, it's king d8 and rook goes to c7 and everything is protected and black's fine. So black equalized, fantastic equalization. That's how you equalize from a little bit worse position, okay? Fantastic demonstration by black. Easy draw in the first game. The second game, see, he's not even trying to play for a win, this guy, yeah? He just wants to take the older opponent into the tie breaks because he's younger and faster. Makes a lot of sense, the strategy. So he just goes for this, you see Petrov, you go into symmetrical line, you trade everything. It's known that white is a little bit better. Queen h5 is correct, because if you castle, black can play queen h4 himself. I analyze this line, and black is fine. Like, analyze it 1.5 years ago. Queen h5 is new approach, but bishop f8. And see, white is a little bit better, but he's not even bothering to try to play for a win. Yeah, I mean, he could play like queen g3, try to put the bishop here, play castle c4, you know, play some chess. Yeah, no, he doesn't bother. He doesn't even want to play. He just wants to go to tie break and try his luck there. And it's a draw. And you know, I imagine that Vasily will be a little bit not pleased with this situation, because this guy is pretty strong. The Sanal guy, he is very accurate. He'll be applying time pressure on Vasily. And Vasily, you know, he is getting older. He's older than me, yeah. And in time pressure, I fear that Vasily can make a mistake or blunder something. So, but Vasily can also play like a genius and uncork some beautiful novelties, brilliant ideas, and outplay this guy. So this is the match for 3 results, okay? The match Sanal versus Ivanchuk, it's a match for 3 results. There is no favorite in this match, despite this guy being almost 100 elo points lower. All right, Svein versus Wang. I kind of want to skip this match. It's a little bit boring, to be honest. You know, both of them are very solid. Boring match, to be honest. So let's go to Ousepienko versus Gukesh. What? Yeah, because now you have people playing who are very close in strength to each other. That's why you're not going to see a lot of one-sided matches, especially classical matches. Also, when I played in the World Cup, there was a rule that if you finish the match, the classical portion, in a draw, then the prize you get is a little bit higher if you get eliminated than if you were just eliminated in a classical match. There was some crazy nuance or something like that. But obviously, nobody cares about the prize. They just want to, you know, get past the stage and move on to the next stage. But all right, let's see. So we have classical Spanish game, but Okay, I think Ousepienko just grew up on the stuff. He plays bishop d6 and queen is bishop e6 and okay, this is very old line. Knight b3, I don't know this move. What is the point? The point is queen a5. First line and then b4. Yeah, this is new kind of chess. I understand the idea. Yeah, you want to fix black pawns like this with the help of this knight. The knight is going to c4 anyway. Most importantly, you want to get this pawn here to prevent c5. And then sort of hit this guy. Okay, it makes a little bit of sense. Castles, first line, and also first line. I imagine, yeah, because if you move the bishop, then knight c4. And then if white trades this bishop, he has this very dangerous f4 idea with the bishop on the long diagonal. That actually makes a lot of sense. So black gives up the pair of bishops, but instead he gets a security in the center and security against potential attack. Also, with this pawn on the dark square, this bishop is no longer that bad. Yeah, black can play bishop f8. And he can play for the breaks here because the pawn on a4 is actually very decent. Because normally white has a pawn on a4, but this pawn on a4, especially if you go for the breaks here, potentially you can have a very good pawn structure for black. So let's see, king h1. See, black is already better after this move. But okay, I don't trust this engine on chess.com. Look at this depth. It's depth 24. It's ridiculous. Okay, if this was depth 30, okay, I can trust it more or less. But depth 24, no, sucks. But this is too passive. Yeah, too passive. See, remember what I told you? Bishop f8 and then push these pawns. Yeah, at least the computer likes this plan. I like this plan. It makes a lot of sense. But knight d7 is very solid third line. And the idea is you prepare c5, you want to take with a knight. Also prepare defense f6. And potentially you really want the knight going to e6. The knight belongs here, always, behind the pawn. Just like in London, right? I put the pawn on e4, knight on e3. Or in the Slav, you have d4, knight on d3. So the knight always goes behind the central pawn. One step behind, perfect place for the knight. Like in Carlsbad, like everywhere, yeah. So that's the idea for this knight. He is going to e6. Makes sense. Rook b1. First line, second line. Yeah, I'm curious about this b5. What is this b5? Because if you can play b5, isn't black just better? You can take c5 and take on a5, and yeah, it looks like black is better, yeah, because these pawns are actually weak. You can play potentially rook c8, c4, and then organize pressure. And if the knight ever comes to d4, black is better. So b5 was very, very strong idea. Yeah, this is so slow. Yeah, again, bishop f8, b5, c5. Maybe he was afraid of f4. That is my guess. Yeah, that's the only guess I have. So we have to check what is this, yeah? b5 anyway. Queen g3 runs into rook g6, I thought. Because if you take queen c8, it's just a draw, okay? So rook g6 makes a lot of sense. That's why the computer plays queen f2, threatening this. And then queen e8, yeah. This is a like holy triangle of pieces. Okay, rook on the 6th, knight protects everything, and then just play c5. And black is better. Why? Because white plays without a knight. He is stranded on the rim of the board. Okay. I imagine he could just take a knight f6, yeah. Because if you try to bring this knight right now, it's not possible. So you have to play bishop f4 first. Then try to bring this knight, but as you can see, both of these pawns, they take away key squares. So white is playing minus knight, yeah. And he also has to worry about protecting these weak pawns. Black has clear compensation. Is he better? I don't know. But, you know, just keep in mind that you can play chess like this, okay? You can just play chess on misplaced your opponent pieces. Yes, you sacrifice the material, but you can do that. And black is actually the one playing for a win. All right, but he plays queen a7. What's wrong with c5, by the way? b5 and then knight c4, and then this pawn is kind of disconnected, yeah? Okay. Yeah, that's why I need b5 before he plays c5. Okay, so queen a7 stops b5. He wants to play c5. You have to bring the knight. But after you bring the knight, black is fine. c5 looks correct. Yeah, knight a3. If you play knight a3 in a classical game, you will be disqualified for cheating, okay? Because no sane human person would ever play knight a3 in this position. Even though it makes perfect sense, because now you're going to play c4, you stop c5, you're going to play c4, and then you're going to play c5. And this pawn formation is pretty good for white, I would say. See, it's advantage white. Why? Because black pieces have no squares, and white can prepare this the expansion in the center. Because white's going to play d4, and thanks to these double pawns, you're going to have 4 versus 3 here. And if the knight ever comes, he's going to hit everything. Black has no real counterplay. Structurally wise, black is much worse. Yeah, but if you play knight a3, you know, I'll be shocked if a human plays knight a3, but it is the best move, okay? c4, c5. Amazing move, to be honest, really amazing, but not human. Knight e3 is human move, but after c5, black is fine. Yes, this is how engines actually changed the modern chess. You can see it, right? Because without engines, move like knight a3 would never enter human minds, ever. Like ever, okay? But with the advent of engines, now you can see moves like knight a3 and you can start wondering, yeah? Like in how many theoretical lines such moves are possible, which sort of cardinally change the whole evaluation of the position. So chess, you know, is a lot of research now into, especially into the past lines which were considered to be adequate or not adequate, yeah. And then you look for moves like this. Yeah. All right. How old is Ponomariov? Yeah, Vice is only 54. He's 66. I'm 74. He is 8 years older than me. Yeah. I could work as a commentator. Dude, I was commentating on a lot of official events. They just stopped inviting me because, you know, nobody wants to look at my old face mug, okay? They want younger, they want more professional looking, better looking, you know, beautiful commentators, you know, distinct commentators. They want either tattooed people or they want the red, green, blue-haired guys, you know. They want something like which brings immediate attention, which is fine. Is that really big of a difference between depth of 26 and 30? Yes. It's actually 4 moves deepness, yeah? Wait, it's if it is apply, it is 2 moves deep. Yeah, but 2 moves it can make a huge difference. Okay, 2 moves makes a huge difference. Trust me. It could be a difference between life and death in chess. Yeah. All right, so c5, take. Black is fine. Now black has superior structure because these pawns are weak, and white has to look for ways to make a draw. This looks incorrect, but it looks logical. But why is it incorrect? My guess is that the computer wants to keep an option of playing rook c6 some point. But bishop f8 just to prevent knight f5 in the first place. Knight f5 again logical but wrong, yeah, according to the engine. But I kind of disagree with the statement. You know, the computer plays g3 e4 because he's not scared of anything. Computer, you know, is not scared to lose this to lose the World Cup match. Computer has nothing to lose, so he can offer you all sorts of garbage moves. The best thing about computer is that no matter what kind of position it is, he is always ready to offer you a move. You know, for humans, that's a big problem sometimes. Sometimes you see the position and you don't like any move you see. So you're spending your time and you're trying to find the move, you know, the best move in the current situation, and the computer has no problems. He will always offer you a move. In fact, if you put him like 3 lines, he'll offer you 3 moves. You know, he will not hesitate because he doesn't care. Because he has no brain of his own, he has no consciousness. He is given the task and he just spews it out. Yeah. So g3, don't play g3. If you play g3, white takes a lot of risk, he can lose the game. Knight f5, very safe move. Now bishop e3. I'm surprised about this. Queen a3 looks better, but queen c3, he wants to stop c4. Oh, white is worse. Oh, he really takes a risk. That's very dangerous, actually. This move is extremely dangerous for white, but he's very lucky. He just took here. Yeah, d4, white is not prepared. His rooks are not supporting the pawns. The rook is looking at this. Black rook is here, ready to hit this guy. You're opening the center where black is better prepared for the break. This is not how it works in general. Okay, the idea was if you play g6, then white has d5. Even then you have this move, yeah. And black is okay, but it is complicated. But knight f6, you stop d5, you attack this pawn. I like this computer suggestion. And the biggest problem is that he was probably thinking that he takes with the queen, white plays f3, and then white is a little bit better. Of course, after bishop c5, white is not better, but you have control over the file. Yeah, knight is strong. g6, black is fine. But the problem is black takes with the rook. And that's the big problem, because if you play f3, there is this little thing called rook e8. And black is winning. Because you take all these pawns and you have 3 rollers. Right? So, and if you play bishop d4, there is this unpleasant thing for white. And with this pawn structure, knight hitting this weakness, black is better. Okay, especially after g6 and bishop going here. Knight and bishop, this is the famous Grunfeld setup. Knight takes away key squares from the rooks, hitting weaknesses. With the bishop protecting this knight, knight doing excellent job supporting potential pawn promotion. See, it's -1. A Grunfeld player will tell you immediately that black is better here, because it's a really well-known Grunfeld thing. I don't think Ousepienko plays Grunfeld though, because if he did, he would see this and he would just play it, and black pretty much wins this game. Yeah, so yeah, d4 is playing with fire. Absolutely. Rook c1 with idea bishop d2 and c4, equal position. Ousepienko takes, and now c4, first line. g6, black plays very solid. Second line. Knight c5 going for activity, looks pretty good also. What is the problem with b4 question? The problem is that this queen is not going to be very comfortable after f4 and then f5. So rook d6 and white is better. Yeah, okay. Again, Grunfeld idea. Queen d3, take, but you activate the rooks. Okay, this pawn is so strong, And you don't care about this pawn because you get active game here. So rook d2 is coming, a3 protected by the bishop, and black is going to hit everything to get rooks to c2 and take this pawn. So these 4 versus 3 does not matter. What matters is the piece activity, which black will have, together with the potential knight d3 coming, hitting. Yeah, black is definitely better here. So, you know, I'm surprised that, you know, Ousepienko, yeah, the Grunfeld player will see this immediately. Yeah? Activity is more important than the pawn. And materialistic younger generation computer players, yeah? Because that's what happens when you study with the engines. You become very materialistic. But thank God the engines, even the engines now recognize the power of the dynamic play, yeah? You have pawn majority, you have to use it. e6, f5, queen g4, knight e4. Advantage white. Huge advantage, by the way. f4, f5 is a huge threat. Probably he was worried about this, but then knight e4. And then you, in addition, you have queen c4, knight g5. Knight g5, queen c4, e6, f5, and then this bishop here. +2 for white, wow. My god, Gukesh missed it. That actually is kind of hard to understand. 16 minutes for 12 moves. Probably a feeling of time pressure, yeah? Time pressure, probably. Because when you have less than 1 minute per move, you start to get very nervous and you want to play very safe. This looks very safe. Queen d2, logical. Oh, just... yeah, it's amazing, yeah? Both of them missed a chance, actually. First, black misses a chance with knight f6. See, there's not much material on board, but because this is kind of unusual position, okay? This is very unusual position in terms of the pawn structure. And when you have unusual position where you don't have memorized pattern or experience in previous games, then Grandmaster, first thing he wants to do is to play very human, safe approach. Yeah, let's play safe. So that makes a lot of sense. And that's why they missed all these chances, both of them. All right. That was the first draw. And then we go to the second draw. This looks like a big fight. Oh, they both play Spanish. Nice. Hey, Stress, what's up? Hi, Punctual Ferran, what's up? Was any draw offered by the computer? Okay. Computer wants to exchange pieces when material down. Okay. Yes, okay, about Ponomariov match, yeah, true. All right, so Spanish. 4 knights. No, excuse me, no Spanish. Ousepienko came home, analyzed the game, saw how many chances he missed, plays safe. Oh, this is very interesting, you know why? Because despite a lot of Gukesh strength, he is not as fast as the other Indian players. So in the rapids, other Indian players actually I think are better than Gukesh. Because Gukesh doesn't play a lot of Title Tuesdays. He doesn't play all those rapid tournaments on chess.com. He doesn't play many rapid tournaments where, you know, those Chess 24 guys organize. So I would say that Ousepienko, probably some of his coaches, trust me, he has a huge team of Russian coaches, obviously, because there are not that many Russian players left. Nobody is going to help Svidler because he is an old grizzly bear. Despite the fact that the guy won like 8 times Russian chess championship, he won the World Cup. The level of his support is like 0 in Russia. Exactly like I had almost 0 support in US. Why? Because people think they don't need to support guys who win tournaments. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of Ironic, funny, also very sad, obviously, yeah. But that's the truth, yeah. So I suppose Ousepienko has at least like 3-4 coaches helping him. Gukesh probably has the help of the Indian Academy and also from Vichy. Because there are not that many Indian players left, right? Gukesh and Praggnanandhaa. And that's pretty much it. Wait, Erigasi also, right? Alright, so Bishop G4. In style with Gukesh. He likes dynamic play. He can play technical positions, but he prefers dynamic positions. It suits his style perfectly. So Bishop G4 is a modern move, and Bishop H5 is also equal. And just equal, absolutely equal. Queen D5, Knight F6, actually third line only, but I suppose it's good enough. Interestingly, now Black puts Rook on B7, Knight D7. Why? Because the Knight goes to E6, perfect square for the Knight, just like in the Chimera game, except that this pawn protects the square. Also, you can play F5, Knight on E6, untouchable by the Bishop, protects a lot of key squares. Knight on E6, perfect place for the Knight. But if you White plays C5, then Knight obviously goes back to D5, yeah? I mean, beautiful square for the Knight. The best square you can think of. And Black is absolutely fine. Especially with this Rook. Really well placed Rook here. Because if White has Rook on the B file, White has potential to go Rook B7, Rook A3. But with Rook on B7, this Rook is very passive. And you're actually threatening Rook B2. But beautiful Knight, gorgeous Knight. Probably at some point F6. You're going to try for G5, White will play H4. Or you can keep the pawn formation like this. This Rook is unpleasant, but this pawn is protected. How does White make a progress? I don't even see any idea for White to make progress, because again, the moment you play Rook C4, there will be Rook B2. So this looks like completely even game. Maybe A4, A5, but if you play A4, A5, then just A6. And you put your pawns on the dark squares, really not a great idea. Yeah, H4, King E8, okay. And black is ready to trade this only active piece left, and after Rook D7, King goes here, protects the pawn, makes the Rook, frees the Rook from the guard duty. Black is fine. F6 necessary, Rook D7. Rook finally goes to B2, but Rook D7. Black is actually a little bit better according to the computer because active king, yeah, active king and this knight. Actually, White is worse. That's what he gets. Ace. No, but okay, man. You have to play A6. Yeah, you cannot allow A6 Rook B7 idea. Because how would you protect the Rook? Because Bishop A5, yeah. So after A6, I suppose he was afraid of this. But Rook A8 runs into this. And White King is actually very unsafe, yeah? Look at this, Rook E2 resigns. I think Gukesh missed this idea, King D3. I mean, King F2 doesn't help much. Because Knight, King and Rook, especially with the bad bishop that has no squares, you can create very strong threats. This loses to Rook E2. This is the only move, and pretty much suddenly you're down a bishop, yeah? White is down a bishop. Incredible, yeah? Absolutely equal endgame, and then White played pretty carelessly, and Black misses his chance. A6. Yes, the computer plays King D3, but this looks like pretty dangerous, you know? I'm not talking even about this idea. And Knight C4. And this. extremely dangerous. Now that the king is here, knight active, pawn hanging. Yeah, but after a6, check, okay. Oh, actually correct, yeah. Because if rook b7, king protects rook, and then c5, king c6. So bishop e1 is correct. Applying pressure. Now rook b7, correct. Incorrect. King d2 first, and then bishop here. What do you see, huh? And now black is winning. Oh, he missed his chance. What? King c1. And what is his chance? His chance is just this. So white has to play this, and then rook here, king c1. Same idea. Double attack. Check, and rook a6. Black is winning. 7 minutes on the clock, Gukesh. Dude, what the heck, man? Why are you playing fast and your opponent... Look at this. c5, 20 seconds. 1 minute. He spent 1 minute playing this move. You should spend a little bit more time. And I mean, to say that he did not see this idea is bloody ridiculous. For a grandmaster that is 2750, he obviously saw this idea. He obviously saw this double attack. But if you spend 1 minute, he probably went for this from afar, yeah? Rook e3. It gives black advantage, but it's compared to what he could have had. Yeah, this is very human way of playing, yeah? You say, I take this pawn, I put my rook behind, very safe. I threaten now a lot of checks. My knight can potentially play knight b4, close this bishop. But the reality is that... oh. Yeah, that's what I said, yeah? Knight b4. Oh my god. But seriously, come on, man. King d4, c4, c3. Just push the pawn, yeah? Probably afraid of rook a8. Ah, okay, you have to see knight b6, but c4, and the idea is c3 you take, yeah? That's a problem. Yeah. Knight c7, rook d8, king e4. Oh, pawn is gone. No bishop e3, no check. And black is winning. Because rook a2, king e3, c3. White still has to take this pawn. If you play h5, yeah, mating attack, yeah, king f3. And if you play this, c3, rook e2 with idea of c2 mate. Wow. Yeah, I was wondering like how the computer would win this, but I imagine this also. This is a human way of playing. This should also win, because he must play this. Because if you play rook g6, it's mate. Supposedly after knight e3, king takes. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, knight b4 was... Yeah, you know, Gukesh had a lot of chances this game. It is amazing how simple endgame, and white almost lost it. Damn. Yeah, so he plays knight b4, and this is just a draw, yeah? Yeah, that's that draw. Yeah, Gukesh endgame skills, man. If this was Carlsen, he would see this immediately. He would score. But yeah, I think that's one of the problems with Gukesh, is that, you know, he's studying a lot of middle games, open games, but end games you also need to keep in shape. Okay, because if this was any older grandmaster, they would immediately spot all this stuff and they will kick your ass with black. Okay, they will see all these moves. They will win this game. So experience, the younger guy missing experience part, yeah. Because what experience means is that you have this feel when there is something in the air. You can sense it and you start looking for it, okay? But with every game he gets stronger, yeah? He had actually 2 chances now. So, if, yeah, you know, Gukesh missing these chances is not good. Because if you miss these chances, it means that your form is not that great. Even if your prep is good, but your form is not that great, you're missing stuff. And eventually at some point you will stop getting these chances and your opponent will get a chance and he's not going to miss it. So I actually think because, you know, he's missed 2 chances in these games, the counter argument is that Gukesh has the initiative, yeah? He's been getting better positions, he was better in both games, maybe it will continue. But in my experience, you know, this dominance part, this initiative part is like the occurrence, yeah, is like 30%, that 30% chance that you will continue to have this initiative and score the point, compared to like 70% that you might miss something and lose, yeah. Again, you lose the chance to win. If you don't score, it's not good. Actually, we have okay, yes, Abasov versus Svidler. Well, make a guess why me and Leko, we have a lot of similar comments. Because we're both classically raised players, we're same generation, we both placed for the World Chess Championship title, a lot of experience, love paying attention to the detail, love the game, yeah, a lot of same things. And guess what? You get a lot of similar outlooks and same ideas. All right. Which player from India do you think will become the strongest? Well, right now Gukesh is strongest. No, Gukesh is not Giri. If you wanted to compare Giri to any Indian player, it would be more, first of all, it would have been Nihal, right? Nihal would be the closest in style to Giri. And everybody else is actually more my god, what is the name? Dynamic, that's the word I was looking for. Gukesh is a dynamic player. Erigasi is far more pronounced dynamic player, obviously, yeah. And you also have a bunch of new Indian guys coming up. You saw this Naranian guy, yeah. I mean, arguably you can call Giri an Indian player too, by genetics, but he is more of a Western Indian player, yeah. I don't know. I don't want to go into that. You know, I'd like to probably call him an enlightened Indian player, yeah, because after you move from your original country, if you have the balls or you're allowed to move to another country, you're experiencing separate cultures in your lifetime when you're growing up. I think it's a huge thing. I think if it is possible, kids should actually have a chance to, you know, live in several countries when they grow up for at least like 3-4 years, because they pick up, first of all, languages, and second of all, they pick up the cultural things, right? And then they will pick up the best, hopefully not the worst. Hopefully the parents do their job and make sure they don't pick up the worst parts of the culture, but they pick up the best parts. And that enrichment, it actually helps you in probably every area, not just chess, but also if you go into sciences, if you go into humanities, if you go into entertainment, you know, I think that's a huge advantage. See, Magnus, I think what helps is that he was traveling. I mean, chess is actually pretty good for youngsters because you get to travel a lot. You get to meet a lot of kids, make a lot of friends, yeah. That's actually the best part about the chess. Yes, you get those benefits in chess in schools, but chess in schools benefits, you know, Same benefits you get from other subjects as well. Chess in schools is just a huge PR commercial project, you know, to sell chess, so more people can make money teaching, pretty much. But the best benefit for kids, as far as I know, and for me personally, was that I got to travel and play in all those key events in different countries. You get to see different countries. Like, how else would you see them? And your parents get to see those countries. They get the reason to travel with you. You get to meet other kids. The parents get to meet other parents, share notes, yeah, kid raising chess players, etc. Meet other coaches from other countries. Again, it's the greatest part of growing up in chess culture. And of course, there are always kids who will be like, raised by parents just to be winners. Don't talk to anybody, study chess all day. I pity those kids. I was like that kid. And I pity those kids because you sacrifice so much in the development of a person. You sacrifice so much in the, getting the culture just for the sake of winning some junior championship. If the kid wants to do that, if he wants to make a statement, it works for him, it's fine. But in general, I don't like that approach, okay? You're raising a champion, but at the great cost to the kids' mental, and social skills and everything. All right, that was the, hey, Mr. Chess Pawn. Carlsen improved as he got older. Again, you guys forget that, Magnus has the huge benefit of having a training session with Garry Kasparov. If you have the greatest champion of all time, which was Garry Kasparov, train you and share with you his understanding of dynamics, of classical culture, incredible opening and knowledge, great, I think very few people know so many classical games, positions, patterns, practical advices like, the GOATs. The only people that come close is like, first is Garry in his knowledge. The second person comes as Vichy, which is why all these Indians are doing really great, because he is sharing that knowledge and he's not like, he's doing his job like at 200%, he's giving everything, and you can see the results, yeah? And after that, it's a huge drop, okay? Because, Karpov could have shared his knowledge, but I would say he's being pretty selfish. He's not doing it. He's going to politics, he's getting nice paycheck, nice life, yeah. But, the chess knowledge just stays with him. I call it pretty selfish. Because he could have taught so many people and actually helped Russian chess a lot more. Yeah. What else? Then we have Kramnik. That's my top people with the chess knowledge, yeah, with the massive amount of chess knowledge. So then it's probably Kramnik, and then obviously it's Mr. Leko. But before Leko is probably Magnus, yeah, because he's been playing so many World Chess Championship matches, defended his title 5 times. Leko is huge, but in terms of the pure knowledge, I think Magnus now has more knowledge than the rest of them. So I would say these are the absolute top 4 players. I place Magnus last because, again, he's younger, okay? He is younger. He's younger, and obviously he's seen it all. But I would call him like the youngest, oldest GOAT, yeah? Okay. All right. Let's go back to the matches. Let's look at this Abasov versus Svidler. Svidler and his massive knowledge versus youth and engine accuracy and deep prep. I really doubt that Svidler is preparing. I never seen Svidler prepare really hard for his openings. He can if he wants to, but not on a consistent basis. That is something that held him back, and it also held me back, yeah, because I hate studying theory. I feel like when I study theory, I feel like I'm wasting my life, yeah. When I play the chess game, I don't feel like I'm wasting my life, but when I study theory, I feel like I'm wasting my life, because everything that I'm studying right now, it will be outdated in a month, okay? And it will be forgotten. And I'll have to come back and refresh and update and work on this material again, you know? And that's why, you know, this is so hard to be a top player these days. When you're young, you're motivated, you have this energy, you have time, you know, because you still have goals to score. Yeah, you have to tournaments win, you have to qualify for the candidates, you have to qualify for the World Chess Championship title. You have a clear goal in your mind. But, you know, once you've done that, you've played the match, you played the candidates, you won a lot of tournaments, you know, the motivation is gone. So my motivation right now is to share this knowledge and to, you know, and to try to pick some points, analyze current games, try to see where, you know, where the youngsters, you know, trying to improve and where the old guys are holding, using their knowledge. So again, this is a great match actually. You know, Abasov is not that famous of a player, but he's being a very solid grandmaster for the last, I think, 5 years or 4 years. So experienced dude. Not an easy match for Svidler. And Svidler and his 2 bishops. Okay, there are certain specialists in chess who like certain pieces. Okay, pair of bishops, very few people are, you know, there are certain people that stand in my mind. Obviously, there are a lot of people who love to play with pair of bishops, but guys like Peter Svidler, they love pair of bishops, okay? They're very good with pair of bishops. G4, aggressive move, very aggressive. Normal move would be castling, but I think he was afraid of 94, 92. Why did the computer not show this? Yeah, because you're hitting the rook. Yeah, so c6 first. c6 first, and then you're ready to play 94, which is why you play bishop g3. And then knight f8, and knight goes to g5 and e4. Still better for white, but black is fine. Easy game. So g4. No longer easy game. White is saying, this little pawn helps me open up your king, man. And then I'm gonna castle here, and I'm gonna go full aggro on black. So let's see black's reaction. c5. That was my first thought. c5. Flank, respond with a central counter-attack. This is like textbook stuff, yeah? Textbook stuff we learn since we're the kids. The computer, because he is a bloody metal monster, doesn't care. He plays c6. Because if g5, then 94, and he says tactics is good for, is okay for black. And I believe him, yeah? Because because if you play like this, bishop g5, bishop g3, this king is not safe at all. Knight f6, queen d4. Yeah, so c6, we have to look at long castle. And now, yeah, again, same idea, yeah, 94. Because if you trade the bishop, pretty much there is no more attack. And black is better. Black would not be better if you had king on a1 and rook on c1. Then it would be just in time to, you know, to prevent all this stuff. But because the king is here and the knight is hanging, and if you play like this, see, black is already knight b6, queen b4, knight a4. Queen is not really well placed. You need this queen somewhere else. So c6, the engine move. c5 is a human move. And short castle. Yes, correct. Short castle. Yeah, you definitely don't want to castle long side now. That's for sure. Short castle, and now this is weak. c4. Wow. Yeah, I expected actually the trade, and then I expected, you know, black to invite white to make a lot of trades in the center, and then you equalize, yeah? Not simple though. c4 is... bishop f5 doesn't seem right. Yeah, this seemed better. And then just king h1, rook g1, yeah. And the idea is you cannot, why cannot you play knight h7 is because you play it here, threat is bishop h7, knight g5, queen g2, bishop d6, h4, yeah. Oh, fg3. Because you want to keep this square under control. No, but this is bad. 96. Yeah, this is +2, okay? Because black king is seriously compromised. Rook f2, rook f1. It's pretty easy game for white. Terrible knights. Great pawn breaks. Yeah, this is advantage white. Yeah, bishop f5 I think is a loss of tempo. Bishop does not do here anything. It actually prevents the queen thing. Rook d1, a little bit too solid play. A little bit too solid. I imagine Svidler didn't want to try this, but it makes a lot of sense. Although 94 now is possible, yeah. Yeah, probably he was worried about 94, but this is the reason why queen g2 is not so bad. It's 94, you take and bishop g3. And this is the problem, yeah? So queen g2 actually makes sense. You're preparing f4, you're preparing g5, knight h7 must be played. Bishop here. And I think even this same idea is possible, yeah? See, it's still possible. I mean, obviously the classically trained player would play queen g3. But if you're a classically trained player who studies with modern engines, then you should be able to see this move. It's ugly. It's ugly. I understand. But it's also very concrete. It's also very concrete. Also bishop h7 and rook f5. Again, a very concrete attack on this pawn. Queen e8. Queen e3, rook d8. Why white is better? I'll tell you. The difference is in these knights. As long as these knights are placed like this, black has no chance to use his pawn majority. This is weak, and white has a chance to go and open up black king, which he does immediately, yeah? Because if you play g6, this rook is unbeatable. And also opening the h file is not healthy in a lot of lines, yeah? Again, the knight difference is too huge. Knight also controls the square. So that's why the computer plays knight a4 and tries to activate his knight. Because if you play passively, see, rook h1, fantastic. Rook f7, rook h7, huge threat. You cannot take this pawn. And then queen f4 and queen h4. Okay, beautiful demonstration of white potential in this position. Again, thanks to this guy, that's the only difference. All that matters. The only difference is the knight difference, pretty much. Okay, so he plays rook d1, and this move makes no sense. Because it makes sense only if you're planning to play e4 and then push this pawn. But if you play this move, that means you gave up on this kingside expansion. And black made a mistake. And did Svidler see the mistake? No, he didn't. See, tactics, yeah? Tactics. You know, older guys are missing tactics. Because after knight takes d5, black is lost. he lost a huge important pawn because you just take this knight, take this knight. And if you take the bishop, you take this knight anyway. I don't understand this. Why he didn't take on t5? He's just completely winning. Black blundered. He has 40 minutes on the clock. If Svidler wins this game, he qualifies to the next stage. How can you not see knight takes d5, man? This is actually something unbelievable. You know, in his younger days, Svidler would see this like in an instant. I don't understand. How can you miss knight takes d5? Does online Blitz rapid rating say something about the classical rating? A little bit. Yes, Yasser, of course. Yasser, of course. Yes, I mean, all those guys have a lot of knowledge, but in my mind, the absolute top people are those that I named. Yes, after 95, Svidler wins the game and he qualifies, and I don't understand bishop g3 because now black eliminated this important knight and he eliminates your pair of bishops and the game becomes very close to equal. Okay, black is trying to play for a win maybe or something. Yes, the way Peter plays this game is like he's not feeling well, yeah, because you see this, you see the open semi-file, you put rook on b1 pretty much automatically, and then you play a4, and then you force something. If you force a5, then rook goes to b5, hits everything, yeah. The rook is done here. You put the rook here, or you try to, yeah, with the knight, I don't even know. After this, black is better. Svidler is actually worse. So he managed to go from winning position to a worse position. This is a terrible position to have the double pawns in because black has infiltration and he has a knight. Correct. See, black sacrificed a pawn but achieved rook e3 threat. Okay, rook f6 is missed. With the idea of... No, he didn't miss it, okay. I was thinking maybe queen d6, queen g3, but then rook f6. Okay, so rook e3. What's wrong with rook e3? So what happened in the game? Oh, he plays rook d6. And black is still better. Oh, he made the extra move, unnecessary move. Okay. Black missed knight c8 first, and then knight d6. If you put the knight on d6, this bishop is out of the game. Again, pieces out of the game, right? If you can manage to put this knight somewhere here to join the attack, then black is for sure better. Because the bishop is not protecting the king thanks to this pawn. White is thinking about putting the rook here, but it's not happening. Rook f6 is a mistake because of what? Okay, gf6 held the advantage, and now white is fine. Yeah, safe move. See, sacrifices the pawn but brings the bishop back. And now this knight is outside of play. Rook e1 looks correct because rook d3 is bishop e4, yeah. Queen e2, and if you play queen f2, there is probably queen e6. Queen d3 looks logical, but then queen f7, so queen e6. Queen d4 is just check again, yeah. Yeah, because you don't have queen f5, yeah, because c3. So this is equal. And they agreed, oh, Abasov even plays for a win. Okay, d7. Okay, this is that draw. Yeah, this is close call for Peter and close call for Abasov, yeah. Very interesting game. But Peter missing a win is disappointing. Now Peter plays his favorite Grunfelds. Okay, in terms of Grunfeld knowledge, again, but okay, everybody plays Grunfelds, especially the older guys, yeah, they all know it. But I like the way Abasov just goes for a draw, okay? This is a famous draw line. Yeah, this is a very famous draw line. Black usually takes on d4. You go for this opposite colors, but apparently Peter found some new line, queen a5. And, okay. Bishop a3, but still equal. It doesn't matter what you play, in the end, it is equal game. Bishop d7. You want to play f6, bishop e8 maybe. Check, c5. Pretty sure this is analysis. Okay, that's why you played bishop d7, because you hit the pawn. With the bishop c5, you pin and trade everything. Because if you play bishop b2, you don't get to build up this battery, okay? And now it's just dead draw, yeah? Alright, so whites played this very safe line to make a draw, and they will play the tie breaks. The good thing about the tie breaks for Svidler is he has been always very strong in rapid play. So definitely he's not worse in this match. But this match is a lot closer than people think. Abasov guy, he is not that bad. Vakatur versus Salim. I'm gonna skip this match. Let's go over Bacrot versus Vidit. Yeah, this was incredible first game. Opening prep loss for Etienne. I played this line with black. I've never seen this move. This move been prepared by Vidit. Preparation, okay. Knight f6 logical. Yeah, I would say that a6 taking here, and I would actually consider playing this move. And the idea is to play e5, and of course if knight f5, you probably take, and you have to play h6. And white is still a little bit better because of pair of bishops, yeah. Can you play c5 here is a big question, because apparently white is a little bit better. Yeah, I mean bc6 is very normal, but the problem is you don't have d5, yeah. Again, you can play c5, but if you play d5 here, you're opening the position at the wrong moment. So you have to play this, but then white pieces are perfectly placed for the break here in the center, which is better for white. So very interesting. So bishop e7, okay, developing, you know, cautious old tiger, play developing move, nice. Queen e2, and white is ready for potential scare with f4 e5. Yeah, so the only thing is probably here, yeah, 95 was interesting chance. But it kind of looks like, yeah, I think this is maybe playable, but yeah, I'm not sure about bishop e3. Yeah, actually the queen on b8 stinks. Yeah, I agree. Still playable for black. Still playable, but the queen on b8 sucks. This is a normal structure, okay? This is common structure. Castles, king h1 does not seem right. Knight c3, and the question is why e5 is not played, yeah? This is critical question. You have to play 5 in the structure, otherwise you get worse. So f4 is critical, and now just b5, yeah. So we're gonna get to this position, which is pretty famous. But black is okay here. Should be okay, because white's plan is obvious. Yeah, the knight going to f2, best place for the knight, protecting the pawn, bishop, helping g4. But black has very fast c5, c4 here. So I would think, but not immediately because of knight d5, yeah. So that's why the computer plays some moves like bishop b7 or queen c7. Okay, unclear, yeah. Bishop b7 is very logical. a4 would be also very logical because of b4, then knight gets to c4, knight b1. Yeah, and then a little bit scary, I agree. These positions are always a little bit scary for black. Yeah, and then b3, knight d1, knight f2, g4, rook g1, easy plan for whites. Yeah, I get it. But if you don't play e5, then white is just better. Because white has very simple plan. You don't need big brains to follow it. f5 immediately. Yeah, if black plays bishop b7, queen c7, rook d8, g6, black is okay. So f5, very sharp. Interesting position. Knight takes is a mistake. He had to try his luck with queen e5. Looks scary. Actually looks scary, and the only move is queen b8. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. The human will never see this move. And if you look, I mean, if you look at this move, you're not gonna consider it seriously. But it is the best move, yeah. But if it is the best move, the question is, why don't you take with the knight in the first place? See how, that's how he arrived at this board move. Because if you play queen e5 and you have to go back, you spend 2 moves, makes no sense. Just take it to the knights, and that's it. And the problem is that Vidit is a great tactical vision. Great tactical vision, and now black has to, yeah, losing mistake. He had to take with the bishop and allow this, yeah. Also bishop f4 with idea rook e1. Huge pin. But oh. Ooh, nice. Nice, okay. Damn, that was nice line, yeah. Yeah, so that's why the computer probably takes with the second. Oh, it is a win, yeah. You had to take the bishop first. Jesus. My God. You see how complicated chess is, guys? Very complicated. This is very scary for black. I don't care who you are, this is very scary. 95, and you cannot take it. Mate in 4. I'm pretty sure Etienne saw this line and he said there is no way I survive this. That's why he took with the pawn. The interesting part is that this is losing. So king g7 losing to queen h5, but if you take, check, this is the only move in 94. 97, bishop h6, and the mate threat, yeah. Damn. Wow. So he plays gf6, but After this move, white's queen h5 is coming with total force. Also rook f3 is coming thanks to the spin. Black is lost. Yeah, because the pawn on f7 is gone. Check. And rook f7. Yep, rook e3, rook g4. See, black is not rook and bishop down, pretty much. White sacrifices a piece, but he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All his pieces are participating in the attack. Okay. Bishop e5, rook f7. You have to sack the exchange. Runs with the king. Bishop e4. Nice. Because you don't have this move. And the reason you don't have this move is because this is simple. Rook e5 is also win. But this is much simpler. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't play 97. Rook g4, of course. Yeah, but this is just completely. See, white has material advantage now. Extra exchange and an attack. Ugh. Disaster. And now Etienne has to win with black. I think he actually had a chance here. I remember I saw this game. Okay. Yep. Exactly. There is no Russian school. Okay, people think differently. Hey, Mr. Nefedov, what's up? It's not like the Russian communism lives. It's the mentality. It's a little bit different. What's the context when it pops up when someone subscribes? Oh, I didn't change it. It was this pop-up was made 3 years ago when the coronavirus just started becoming a pandemic and a global scare. I haven't made a new pop-up since that. Casual Massacre, thank you for gifting tier 1 subs to everybody. Free for life, end of communism. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting to the predictions, guys. I'm trying to cover every game. See, I'm missing some matches. I'm skipping because there's so much context, so much content in all these games. These guys are giving their hearts and souls in these games. The World Cup is once in 2 years opportunity. And 2 years in chess is a big number. Younger guys that you haven't seen, they grow up and they suddenly make a name. Older guys, they feel older. 30-somethings. When you're 30-something, 2 years flies fast and you feel it, okay? You feel the changes. So, Bacrot needs to win. He plays this offbeat line. And, everybody and their mother knows how to play this. I play this with white. I used to play this with white a lot. And then everybody plays, against me, everybody plays correctly. They play this. I play d3. They play this, and then they play knight d7 or knight e8. And, in the blitz games, all those FMs, CMs, they all play this line, and it's pretty good, yeah? I think it's a knight d7 or something. They play correctly. e5 is not correct. White is advantage. Why? Because this knight is bad. White has very easy game with f4. Advantage white. When you play the structure, the knight belongs on e7, like white knight, because you have f4. So don't play e5 when you have knight on f6. On the other hand, you know, black is not lost, okay? And the idea is that if you play f4, but then you must take on f4. And you play for this diagonal. But still a little bit better for white, okay? Based on my experience. Normally I play a4 here, because black can entertain sometimes ideas like b5, sacrificing this pawn, Volga gambits, and this extra pawn is like useless. But it's extra, okay? Bishop g5, correct. Bishop e3, you get a tempo. Queen d2, also weakness potential. So in case of f4, taking on f4 now is a lot more dangerous because of this pawn chain. You don't have f5. So knight e4. And Etienne plays this a little bit too early, yeah? A little bit too early. Again, black wants to play b5. I would say a4, a5. I think I even demonstrated in some games that sometimes you can play this. And you can give this pawn away, okay? Because if black goes after this pawn, you don't care. You create this attack. Bishop takes. And then, yeah, something like this. And it's crazy, crazy stuff. Okay? Because if black spends like 1, 2, and then 3 moves, and you can do something here. Yeah, of course, the computer says that you don't even need to do this. Yeah, the best idea to play is maybe bishop d2, stops b5, because you take, knight takes. Maybe. And of course, there's also good old rook b1 idea. And the idea is that you have counter with b4. Okay. Yeah, there's also this idea. Okay, you take with the bishop, fine. And it's also advantage, but okay, some compensation for black. But obviously, if you want to win, you want to be aggressive, yeah? That's why he plays f4. He wants to show his aggressive intentions. He wants the attack. You want to win, you want to go attack mode, yeah? So you don't think about positional stuff like a4. But okay, it's just funny. You know, this game now is more about psychological game. Yeah, it's not chess pretty much. Yeah, you have to calculate some lines, but this, what black does and what white does, they're playing psychological game with each other. Yeah, white is saying, I want to focus on attacking you on the king side, and black says, go ahead, I am not scared, give it your best shot. Yeah, I'm gonna break through with b5. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, very mental game here. Yeah, that's sometimes, you know, you gotta love chess. Yeah, you see stuff like this and you realize, you know, people are messing with each other mentally. You know, both grandmasters experienced. So yeah, and Etienne says, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna go g4. I'm gonna double, quadruple your bet. Yeah, this g4 move is the poker. This chess equivalent to poker's like, you raise, I re-raise you. Yeah, but you know, in terms of pure chess strength, this move sucks, because you know, black takes, okay, here, okay, but I think, yeah, he should have taken here first, because these pawns, if you take on d, no, you can't take. Yeah, bishop is hanging, you have to take this. How you take with the bishop? Yeah, and then there is this things. Oh, this is gorgeous. Yeah, this is actually tactic. Probably they both missed it because the spin comes. Yeah, and the whole point is that you have time to take this pawn. Very important pawn. Very important pawn. And then you take here. Bishop goes to e5. You have passed pawns here. Black is better. Okay, so re-raise, take on c4, actually reasonable. Yeah, now black guarantees himself sort of pass pawn in the center if white ever takes here. However, okay, rook b8, queen d2, yeah, rook b1 seems safer, just to move this rook away from all this stuff. Queen d2 is reasonable. And again, bishop g4. Sacrifice, active defense. Black understands that white wants to play aggressively and needs to win the game. After this move, black gives up the piece, but he now turns the tables on white, and now white has to look for the defense. Okay. Another very psychological move. Ef4 would be very safe. White wants to play 5, by the way, so you have to do something. You can't allow f5. So 2 moves only. f4 or take on g4. Also, bishop takes is very reasonable because you want the queen here, yeah? Okay, so he took with the bishop, exactly. All right, so black is a little bit better, yeah? Makes sense. This diagonal, queen h4 is coming, which means you have to take this knight, because this knight takes away a lot of squares for defenders. So take, knight d5, well played so far by white, queen h4, logical, rook f3, and now we see an incredible f5. Yeah, I mean d3 again looks very logical. You want to take, open the bishop for the checks. Human move, advantage black, right? Instantly advantage black. But we have f5. What this move does is that black wants to keep his center, undermine the center. Again, opening the f-file. This is very hard position for white to play. Very, very hard to play. That's why g4 was a critical mistake, okay? This is why g4 was a mistake, because it allows black to attack. He has attack, he has to make a draw only, and white has to start playing very accurately. Otherwise, white loses this. So queen e1, correct. The idea is that if you give a check, king f1, queen is trapped, yeah? So black is forced to trade. If you don't trade, then white just takes and extra piece. So you have to take, and you have to take this pawn. Ah, wait, that was a mistake actually, yeah? That was actually a mistake. So, let's see, what is this? f4, rook h3, and yeah, this incredible move d3, which I'm pretty sure both of them missed. Absolutely incredible move. The idea is that if you take on f4, there's this incredible mate, yeah? Queen g1, it's mate. Gorgeous mate. So the question is why you cannot take the queen. And the answer is you can. But you cannot play king g1. So you must play this. Now black has 2 moves. Knight h2 or rook takes b2. A lot of intermediate moves, yeah? A lot of intermediate moves. Rook h1 is safe, actually. So I'm curious, why not take here first? Yeah, this looks a lot better. See, the engine. Yeah, knight h2 and rook b2 is very human. Very human, and then queen d3. And now black has only a rook for a queen. Yeah, not enough. Not enough. So the computer says that, you know, queen h2 was correct. This, if you go a little bit deeper, this is what you get. Yeah, but okay, it's still very complicated. Yeah, very complicated, because this loses to rook d2. Yeah, a lot of tactics. The question is, why couldn't you play rook d2 here? Because he takes the rook and extra piece. Okay, so f3. This is the only move. And black can continue the attack after knight g4. Yeah. Rook h2, f2, knight f2. Like, see, black is winning. Yeah. So it's one wrong move, and it easily can go the other way. Yeah. So queen h2. The correct probably way to play, but this is very human way to play. But now white has advantage. So take. This move releases the tension, and after this move, black is for some reason is okay. Makes me wonder why. So why is this so good? Only move, otherwise check, we lose the pawn. And rook, yeah, knight g3 makes more sense. You want to hit this guy. And you're about to take this pawn. If this pawn falls, then everything falls. And that's why white has an advantage, you know? This is why white has an advantage, and Etienne had his chance. In this game, he had his chance. I'm thinking why you cannot take and play 93. Because white just takes the pawn, yeah? This is a win. Yeah, so Etienne had a chance to win the game. He plays this. And black bishop is now very strong. Very strong. He probably expected check. He played knight f4, if check, king h7. A lot of tactics here. I imagine black is still worse. The idea of this check, now you can take, there's no bishop e4. And then d3. And then d2 and some checks, yeah. Amazing game. Crazy complicated. Etienne plays this, actually makes a lot of sense, yeah. You connect the knights, you block the pawn, close the bishop, white has extra piece. Rook 8 here, c5. Oh, but he does not see the correct continuation, yeah. He does not play rook g3. Okay, but then you shouldn't play c5 at all. Yeah, why give this? We got a raid. Timothy Canali, thank you for the raids. Yeah, this is an incredible endgame, guys. Incredible. Yeah, so if you play rook b3, that's a very human move, right? You open the bishop, you want to put the rook on the 7th, you want to create mating threats. Black probably has to stop that. Rook b1. And how does it black play? It says a5. Like, I'm cool as fuck. I'm gonna just push my pawn. In this position, you play a5. Oh my god. Computer, man. Computers, yeah. It's like, I don't give a fuck what you do. Yeah, chess is hard, yeah. Okay, c5, knight g6. Check, obviously. Rook f7. And white is worse, yeah. This is not a good move. But he panicked. Yeah, he should take the pawn, obviously, but the problem is, after bishop e5, what are these knights doing, yeah? Black has just clear plan. You have to find knight b6. And then it's a... yeah. But after rook e8, black is better. See, black's okay with the draw, and draw would be a fair result, which it is, yeah? Bishop f1. Okay, psychologically, white is doing everything correct. Put knights as deep as possible, create a lot of possibility for the forks, improve the bishop to d3. Looks very correct. Bishop d6 takes away all the squares, correct. And knight f2 check, but Vidit is a fucking monster, man. Vidit sees everything. Vidit plays this game like a 3000 player. He sees the best moves, all the tactics in the world. Centralize the knights. Again, this check is coming. and Etienne loses it. Logical human move. Stop bishop h2. Create knight g5 threat. However, Vidit sees the computer lines. Amazing play, yeah? And now it's black that is attacking white. White is lost. White is lost, man. Mate in 3. What? No mate? Oh, he just forced the draw. Okay, that's also good. Forced the draw. Yeah, it's an amazing game by Vidit. You know, after seeing the stuff, I would say Vidit has a very strong chance to get to through next opponent. Doesn't matter who he is. If he's gonna continue playing first line moves like this, he's gonna be unstoppable. Alright, Nihal versus Nepo. Alright guys, I'll speed up a little bit, okay? I'm enjoying these games, I'm enjoying going over them, but it's taking a little bit too long. Alright, Queen a4, very, very safe line, I understand. Knight a5, first line, b4. This is theory, probably. I don't know this theory. Knight e5 looks good, correct. Pair of bishops, bishop b4 first line. Black is very safe, yeah. First line, queen f6, knight a4, and queen e7 actually. Yeah, if you trade the queens, then rook on a7 is annoying. So queen e7 is correct, keep this bishop on the side of the boards, and black is equal, yeah. This is probably all analysis. I will not be surprised if this is like just fucking analysis. Yeah, complete total equal position. You can trade, check, take on b3. Queen d5, third line. Bishop is very, very strong. I like f5, cements the rook, active spielen. If you play e3, you can just play rook d3, I guess. King f6, there is no need at g5, yeah. b4 is illusion, because bishop goes to probably e7, take on b6, rook b5, and take the pawn. Yeah, this is important, by the way, g4. Putting the pawns on the dark squares, potentially for the bishop to counterattack. Very decent. And finally... Oh, they're still playing. Wow. Beautiful rook transfer. You know, no checks, no knight d5. Nepo is trying very hard, but... Unfortunately for him, Nihal's endgame skills are very good. Yeah, the idea is knight d3, e5, obviously, and black's fine. Alright, fantastic, accurate game, yeah? Fantastic. Nihal demonstrating unbelievable accuracy. Okay. Oh, Catalan reverse colors. Okay, great. Now Nepo's turn to show equal game in Catalan. Bishop e3 is unusual. As far as I know, all theory is queen c2, queen a4, knight c3. Bishop e3, I don't know this move. White is better. So Nepo did not equalize. Advantage white. So Nihal has his chance. So what happened? Rook c1. Okay. First line. e4 was first line for some reason, but okay, this also looks good. a4, yeah. Yeah, but with each trade, black is inching closer to a draw. Yeah, this is very hard to win now. If you want to win this, you need the minor pieces, yeah? Rook endgames are notoriously hard to win. This is definitely not correct. You need this pawn to be able to protect this pawn so you can free your rook. Yeah, king is only 3, but he offered the draw. No chance, yeah? Rook b5 is coming. That's fine. Yeah, okay, Nihal missed his chance. Okay, I can see this match going to the Armageddon, okay? I can see this going to the Armageddon. Fabi versus Robson. Alright, let's go quickly. Another Catalan. Fabi eats Catalan for lunch. With his prep, b5. Robson prep. Wait, no, it's Fabi's prep, sorry. Yeah. Fabi's prep is the best in the world. Knight f6, black is better. c4. A little bit too early maybe, but it's fine. Knight e4. Knight c3, okay. Oh, okay, come on, Robson. Come on, Robson. But queen f3, yeah, this knight is too strong. Too strong, okay. Next game, and Italian, also. Perfect, perfect opening for Fabi. Fabi's way of playing chess. Just green down everybody who faces him. Yeah, I played this line with black with a6, bishop e6, but I don't really recommend it. After bishop c2, white has a clear plan. He plays d4 and white is better, okay? Probably this analysis by Robson, but he didn't analyze far enough. If you're playing this against Fabi, you need to analyze it until almost certain fucking draw. If you don't, you're gonna lose this. Against some people, you have to analyze it to a draw. Otherwise, one mistake and they squeeze you and kill you. All right, bishop b3, second line. This is already suspicious. And yes, and you had to play d5. I don't care what you do. This is the move you play against anybody. The whole point of this move is black is temporarily pawn up, and you just need to trade, especially this bishop, get this bishop out of this sad situation here. You need to resolve central situation. You give back the pawn. Nobody cares about this pawn. As long as you trade the bishop, you trade one pair of knights, you still have these guys. You go into the heavy piece endgame and you make a draw. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, the computer shows rook b1 stuff, but you had to play d5 because this is not good. You know, white gets this crazy possibility of an attack here. You know, everything is hanging. Queen c7, another mistake, and of course Fabi sees this. I mean, bishop h6 in this position is like, it's like a, you know, is a famous idea. You're not going to surprise anybody with this move. You know, not these days. This is standard. Queen d2, g3, and guess what? This bishop is just a fucking moron. These knights is attack. Yeah, black is pretty much lost at this point. Yep, take the rook, take the pawn. Pawn is hanging. Yeah, you don't have to win like immediately with white, but the difference in these pieces is too great. The computer says it's +2, which is crazy. Yeah, because looks equal, there is no mate, but that's the way it is. Perfect calculation by Fabi. Oh, okay, queen f4 is just mate, yeah. And if you take, rook takes. Yep. Resigns. Easy game. Yeah, the thing is you have to survive openings against Fabiano to have a chance, okay? If you don't survive opening, if you get into this mess, yeah, your chances are not good. All right, very smooth performance by Fabi, as expected. Ray is not in his league at all. Very one-sided match, unfortunately. All right, let's go to chat. What's up? Is there Armageddon? No, they're playing till the first win. Don't speed up. Okay. Any raid is welcome. We don't care about the numbers. Okay. As a Polish chess fan, I had more than one heart attack during Duda's game as black. Parham had amazing prep. Alright, we'll check it out right now. What do you think of Magnus' game? I just went over Magnus' game. The fact that they both missed knight takes e4 and the fact that Keimer could have knocked Magnus out in a classical game speaks volumes. And then he could have made a draw in the endgame, but he didn't. And now Keimer's gonna lose. I think he's gonna lose. The chances of him losing now, you know, if that game didn't happen, if there were two draws, okay, if instead of trader wins, if in Magnus versus Keimer there were two draws, then I would say again the match is in favor of Carlsen, but not by as much. But after this win trade, yeah, win trading in chess, yeah, guess. No reporting. Like League of Legends, all the esports win trading sucks, yeah. No, but after this win trade, you know, the guy who lost last game, he is in a very bad situation psychologically, incredibly bad, especially after missing this chance to knock out and finish the match and win and qualify for the next round. The mental state is terrible. You know, if there were two draws, I would give Carlsen like 65 to 30. Okay, 65 a little bit too much. 60 to 40 advantage, okay, in the tie breaks. But because of this this previous game, the advantage for Magnus is like 80, okay? It's a huge jump, like to 80% winning the match. I would even go as far as 85, but I respect Keimer as a grandmaster too much to give him only 15% versus Magnus. I think he deserves more than that because he almost knocked him out, okay? He deserves more, but after this game, he'll be mentally destroyed. So the first thing for Keimer right now is to get himself together, forget about those games, get himself together, focus, tell him the match just starting. You didn't play those two games, okay? The match is starting, you preparing, that's what you need to do. In such situations, you have to forget about the game. And if that game comes to you, just tell yourself, I don't want to discuss about this game. I played it terribly. I made a mistake. Yes, come to terms with that. Say, but enough. Now is not the time to think about this game, about the missing chances. Now is the time to focus on the rapid games and tell yourself positive things. Positive things like, I could have won with black. Dudes, I'm amazing, okay? I had an easy win with white. You know, focus on the positives. That's how you destroy the bad mental attitude, okay? Focus on the positive, reinforce it, and set yourself up, you know, for bright, positive outlook on the future, okay? Very, very important. That's the only advice I can give Keimer is, you know, that's what he has to do. A lot of work, but he can do it. You know, for youngsters, it comes easier. All right, so let's go to Max Svidler versus Duda. Duda, the Magnus killer from the previous World Cup. All right, Parham. A lot of Spanish games in this tournament. I like that. People are going back to the classical roots, especially Zaitsev. Very sharp line. T5, old main line. Knight g3 and knight h2, very old line, and knight g4. That's how people used to play in the past. Yeah. The computer gives queen takes, but pawn takes is actually makes more sense. Why? Because if black ever plays d5, then it will not be easy for him to use the pawn majority. This diamond structure, sort of. Prevents easy g6 f5 and also gives you access to the h-file, potentially g5 ram. That's why you take with the pawn always, okay? Pretty much always. So knight c5, bishop d5, looks reasonable. But the problem is that if you take with the queen, there's always queen h4. Another standard idea. So you don't have f3, okay? For some reason the computer says that this is... Ooh, rook e3. Wow. A prep? A prep? Yeah? Okay. Amazing pawn sack. Yeah, I did not expect rook e3 in this position, to be honest. But amazing idea, yeah? Alright, somebody will test it, I guess. But if you take with the pawn, see, also now this pawn is important. Your knight goes to e4, there is no f5. Advantage white. Even though the computer says it's equal, but black is in a huge danger zone, yeah? Because if this knight is removed, you put the knight on e4. If you remove this knight and knight goes to e4, you know, this evaluation will jump like to +1, at least, okay? At least to +1. So now it's a fight. Can you get rid of this knight, put your knight here or not? So he plays e4 first, correct. Rook e3, preparing b4. I kind of like b4 immediately. The computer also likes it. Bishop d2, just hit the pawn, hit the nail on its head. Why not? Knight b6, yes. And then bishop e3, correct. And bishop d4. Bishop d4 looks logical, but unfortunately it's not correct. Or is it? Yeah, a4, yeah, a4, but no, but this is such a natural move, it cannot be that bad. Yes, you have to play e3, it's the only move. And the question is, what is this position? I mean, even if you take it, look at this beautiful bishop. Protected by its proteges, yeah? But black has this great squares, weak pawn, also weak pawn, double pawn. Double but extra, yeah? Double but extra. Yeah, I mean, this is complicated. Yeah, maybe that's why bishop d4, you should probably hold on and play something else. But okay, interesting. I'm pretty sure the grandmasters obviously see this. You know, he plays rook e3. The computer plays rook e5. Makes sense because you want to prepare defending this guy and counter-attacking this pawn. So rook e5 makes a lot of sense actually. Rook c8 makes less sense, but yeah, b4, knight a4 hitting. Okay, not less sense. Also makes a lot of sense. So queen here, just want to take the pawn. Rook e5, counter-attacking, and we get the trade. Correct, not taking the knight. Why? Because if you take the knight, you allow this bishop out of the box, yeah? Advantage white, because this is weak. a4 coming. Black is in a lot of suffering here. So that's why he takes with the rook, because this rook is kind of in the wrong spot. Yeah, queen f3 looks logical, but we understand why this move is played. You want to quickly develop and then try to create pressure against this guy. But now black can take and play rook e5, yeah. And after the rook trades, black is fine, because now with limited amount of pieces left on the board, bishop, rook and queen, easy defense, also nicely Sicilian pawns, queen c6, rook here, rook e6, pretty much easy draw. Grab, oh here, okay. And queen b8, and just draw, yeah. Alright, so next game, yeah. So somebody said next game was a roller coaster. Let's see it. Petrov. Not a surprise from Duda, yeah. Not a surprise. In general, a lot of Polish chess players, you know, being very solid guys they are, they they know how to play Petrov. Yeah. It's kind of crazy, you know, there should be Polish defense. Because, you know, there's something wrong when Polish player plays Petrov, which is a Russian defense, yeah? You know what I'm saying? Of course, chess is above politics, above, you know, ancient rivalry and stuff. But, you know, if you think about it, yeah, it's kind of wrong for a Polish player to play Russian defense. Doesn't sound right. But it's chess. Okay. So, knight f3, knight e4, d4, d5, bishop d3, bishop f5. Do you think Vidit can beat Nepo Nihal in the next rounds? That's actually an excellent question, but when it comes to that, we will see, okay? Yeah. Alright, castles, main line, bishop e7. You need the square for the knight sometimes. Oh, maybe he wants to play knight c6, we'll see. Rook e1, knight d2, no, it's knight d6. Okay. Safe. But I remember when I was analyzing this, I was trying to play Petrov, this line was black, bishop f5, knight d6. And I found it incredibly frustrating because you have to be 100% accurate with black, not to get into a problem position. You have to have prodigious memory, and you have to play it absolutely correctly. You see, the computer gives you this line with bishop takes d3, yeah? And knight a6, yes. And you have to play knight a6 because otherwise white plays rook e2, rook e1. And there's huge problem with these two pieces, okay? Knight a6 kind of stops it because you have knight a6 just in time. But of course, this is, I analyzed this like 5 years ago. You know, in 5 years, theory moved mountains, Everest mountains, the size of the Everest, okay? So, what people know about this position, it's like, again, you climb the Mount Everest compared to what I knew 5 years ago. Apparently this and knight g5 is the main theory. And queen h3 must be the prep, yeah, because I see the computer says knight h2, which makes a lot of sense. Knight g3 also makes a lot of sense to prevent this knight going to f5. But queen h3 prevents queen d7 first and foremost. So, the knight on g5 prevents knight e6, queen h3 prevents queen d7. You see, there is a lot of prevention stuff, yeah? It's like safe chess, safe analogy to safe sex almost. So, prevention is a good thing, okay? See, grandmasters do this. You have to learn how to do this, okay? I know the analogy sucks, but, you know, it kind of, if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, right? Prophylaxis, great thing. You know, I'm telling you, yeah? Prophylaxis is a great thing. It's good for your health, it's good for your chess, okay? All right. All right, okay, of course, people get opinions, I respect that. All right, knight f5 makes sense, yeah? Makes sense, why can we play knight f5? I attack the pawn, if you play c3, it's h6, and everybody goes back now, yeah, black is better. Yeah, that's another thing about Petrov, if you misplay it with white, you can easily get into worse position. But knight e3 is a prep for sure, yeah? If you take on d4, if you take this knight, rook takes, advantage whites. Clear advantage. It's a clear advantage. Your rooks are doubled. This is terrible, means knight is no longer safe here because of knight e5, g6. So, you must take the pawn. Bishop e5. where does the knight go? If knight goes to e6, it's +2 after knight g4. Okay, so knight c6 or bishop f6. I like the way bishop f6 can be met by h5. God, my God. Modern prep, guys. Modern prep. Still good for black, yeah? Bishop here, bishop f6. Black is okay. So must be not h5 then. If it is not h5, what is it? Queen g3? Really? Yeah, it's probably queen g3 then, yeah. Or it's bishop f6 and knight g4, which makes a lot of sense. See, one mistake and it's already +1 for white. You need to keep an eye on this knight. So you have to play this and then... Ooh, queen c3. Gorgeous. The idea is knight b5. Crazy. You know why this check? Because now he wants to play c3, take on f7, and voila. Fork. My God. Tricky line, tricky prep, very tricky prep. I imagine people will analyze this stuff now. So he plays knight e6, but after knight g4, knight f5, okay, he is safe. But not that safe. Yeah, this king is in a lot of problems. Wonderful play, wonderful defense by Duda, which is why maybe bishop c3 was actually a little bit better, yeah, because you create immediate threats, although the computer says it's nothing. Nothing. But you have to see this move. And even then, it's very unclear. Yeah, white has obvious compensation, yeah, obvious compensation. Rook here, bishop here. Yeah, I think bishop c3 was better because after queen e8... Oh, queen h6? Ah, pretty, but not enough. Queen g6, yeah? And if you trade the queens, it's nothing, okay? Now black is fine. Completely fine. White has compensation for the pawn, but that's about it. Except this move. Okay, he had to be really bold and he had to find this idea. And there must be a move here, but not d4, yeah? d4 is not so great. Okay, so you want to do check, but you need to move your rook first. So rook here. Yeah, but it's kind of scary, no? It's kind of scary, yeah, just play b3. Okay, d4 and bishop d6, okay, yes. Correct. That's how you equalize. Yeah. Why couldn't you do it immediately? Here is because bishop is unprotected. Again, unprotected pieces, very dangerous. Prophylaxis. Advantage white. Yeah. The reason I don't like knight g7 is because you're keeping this pawn alive, but at the cost of going really passive. Don't like that. G3. King. Oh, he just takes it. Oh, okay, good for black. Good for black. Yeah, I was really worried after the king g2 because of d4, bishop d2. You know, there is suddenly knight h6 sometimes even coming. Yeah. I mean, white can just improve his position. Rook e4, rook h1, knight e5 now, by the way, hitting this guy, yeah. I mean, it's very easy game for white. You know, sometimes the thing about chess is that you need, it could be equal position, but again, if it is easier to play for one side because you have clear plan, clear targets, and the other side has to constantly, you know, look out for tactics, constantly look out for how to properly place your pieces, how to properly reshuffle them when your opponent reshuffles. It's a pain in the ass. And here is just white pawn down, but his game is so much easier to play. No comparison. Bishop g7 says I agree on a draw. What? Bishop f6. What bishop f6? This I don't understand. Yeah, bishop d6 and rook f7 seems. Okay. Actually, this endgame is far from easy. Yeah? Looks easy, but white has again very easy plan. f4, and then what? And then what? I don't understand. Why is this 0.73? I don't understand this. Okay, we have some games to cover, so we're not gonna stop. Bishop f6. Apparently Duda finds the best move, which I think he should be able to find easily. Okay, preparing rook d7, maybe push the pawns, yeah. Oh, just d3. Just d3, right? Bishop c3. What? Parham can take and play rook e3. Extra pawn. Not that healthy. Okay, Parham just... yeah, okay. g5 correct. Why not king g6? Okay, king f7 is also fine. Wait a minute. Why is this incorrect? And this is also incorrect. Jesus Christ. Guys, see, rook hand games, no, they call them very difficult to play for very good reason. Amazing how the evaluation skips. Rook e2, rook g8, rook c2. What is the problem? The problem is b4. Because if you take, then it's d4, yeah? And king f5. Okay, but it requires precise calculation. How do you know that black b pawn and then another pawn rolls? How you know it's not better for black? Yeah, but yeah, I understand. Wow. Okay. But otherwise it's check check and this pawn moves. Yeah. And if rook d8, you have this guy. Wow. Wow. And wow, rook f5. 2 seconds. Wait, he has 2 minutes left. Guys, is this timing real? Black has 3 minutes versus 37 minutes in this position? Jesus. King h5 wins. King h5 wins because king gets to here and black gets paralyzed, yeah? The reason is winning because a4, Zugzwang. And if you play b6, a6, okay, then rook e5 is a draw. Holy crap. Okay, still Zugzwang. Yeah, you just move your king back and forth. Okay, that's a problem. And why not here? Because now black can take and push this pawn. Wow, this is so hard, man. You have to know exactly when to stop moving your king and play b4. Have to be precise in d4 here. Okay, but you have 37 minutes, you can figure it out. You should be able to figure it out. a4, and now black's fine. Okay. Wow. Now he's got 2 minutes. He probably could get some crazy increment, yeah? Some crazy increment. All right, very hard game for Duda. But when you draw such a hard game, next day you come and you play well. Okay, Dominguez versus Wojtaszek. I'm not gonna go over it. Sarana destroyed Wesley because Wesley lost this game with whites. That's definitely not. If you lose with whites, you deserve to be knocked out, to be honest. Yeah, knight g4. I told you guys, Sarana is tough, yeah? Sarana is tough. If you remember my predictions before the start of the classical match, I said that the old guys will have a little bit hard time playing this match. So Bacrot got eliminated. Youngster Vincent almost eliminated Magnus. Wesley So got eliminated by Sarana. I did say that, right? h5 and black is winning. Why is black winning? Good question, because you cannot take this pawn. Ah, wait, the pawn is here. Oh, this is losing move. Oh, he didn't see queen g5. Oh, that is actually tough to see. Stops h4, prepares queen d2, protects the rook. And knight f5 is the biggest threat, of course, the biggest thing. You need this tempo. You need the tempo to block this pawn, okay? g6, 93, you block this pawn, you stopped h4. Black is no longer winning. But b4 is careless. h5, g6, and black is winning. Queen d3, knight g4. Or knight h5. Queen g5. Why is queen g5 losing? Probably because of h3. And now this bishop is a monster. Actually, the computer says knight d5 also. But the idea is the same. Knight h5 and knight f4, and this bishop is a king. If you guys don't know this theme, there is a game between Veselin Topalov and Vishy Anand, the 12th game of their match in Sofia. They had equal score before going into that game. Veselin is playing white. And he does the same thing. With white, he goes absolutely crazy on the queen side, goes after some pawn there. Vishy has this bishop. He has central presence and he has attack, and Vishy won the game. That's how you should know that this bishop is more important than some crazy pawn on a6. But you don't even need to know this, yeah? Yeah, so what did I say, yeah? Beautiful, yeah? Mate threats. Beautiful play. Another mate threat. You take the bishop, but the pawn is here, and Wesley resigns with white. And obviously, if you're Sarana now, and you have white colors against Wesley, what do? You pick you pick the easiest draw possible. I don't get Wesley's choice to play Grunfeld. Grunfeld is the most well-analyzed opening in the history of chess. White has here a guaranteed draw anywhere, pretty much. Bishop b5 check. Remember the Abasov game? Very similar, yeah, to Svidler. And that's it. Pieces are traded. 95, bishop b2, and this is draw. This is very famous draw. Queen g5, queen f6, and then you play, actually risking losing this. But if you take opposite color bishops, it's a draw. So probably he just resigned, yeah, to his fate, and he didn't want to play for a win, but he also lost some rating points because the difference is almost 100 elo. Sarana wins elo points and he qualifies. Yeah. All right. We're passing this. We definitely okay. Erigasi getting to the next stage. So we have 1, 2, 3 more matches to cover. Let's do that. What does the chat say? Yeah. Hello guys, hello newcomers, we'll get there. It was a relief to me to see that Duda managed to defend the game, sure. Samay Raina. Do they really look so similar, Erigasi and Samay? Okay. Is it more well analyzed than the Bomb Cloud? Dude, Bomb Cloud is a suicidal opening. Bomb Cloud is like playing Boda's Gambit. They're about the same level. Which is what? That should tell you, yeah? That opening should be played when you have 0 rating LO points. Up to maybe 500 LO points. Okay? Then you should stop playing Bomb Cloud. And then you can come back and play Bomb Cloud when you're at Nakamura's level. These are the only ranges, either the very beginner or the absolute number top 3 in the world. That's the only time you can play Bomb Cloud. So, wonderful tweet. What wonderful tweet? Status. I'll look at it. If Mr. Dillmans, can you pin this link? I'll check it out later. All right. Wesley said he was under too much pressure because this was his only chance to reach candidates. Well, I don't know about too much pressure, but you should respect your opponent and don't allow basic things like allowing d4 and bishop on a8 when you play white. You should not allow this at all. He lost the game with white. He played like 2400 that game. He allowed black everything black ever wanted to do in that strategic position. The break d4, the unstoppable bishop on a8. Obviously black is going to attack white the king. Obviously. Alright. So Erigasi plays this mix of Sveshnikov and yeah. I mean, if you want to play Sveshnikov, the problem is normally you play knight c6, okay? Normally you play knight c6, and that's how you play Sveshnikov, okay? However, the biggest problem for black is that these days there exists a thing called Rosolimo, which stops your Sveshnikov dead in the tracks, okay? Yes, people came up with this e5 unbelievable stuff now, and there's a lot of games here. And there's also e6 and g6, but you know, the position type becomes so vastly different than what you want to play. So that's why e6 came into being, and this move order. The problem with move order that white doesn't only have this Sveshnikov thing. The problem is that white has also this line, which is so theoretical. I never even looked at it. Never in my life I looked at this line because it's just so crazy. Theoretical, you have to know the stuff. You know, there's lines where white king goes all the way to g3 in the middle of a fucking board. There are lines where black sacrifices knight on d5 for the attack. Some Aronian games. You know, I just said, you know, screw that. I'm not playing this line with black or white. I don't care. All right. So, oh, that's exactly what happened. Okay, so let's see. Queen c7, f4. Okay, rook b8, some prep. And a3 is safe, but c4, of course, is the main line. And guess what? And that's exactly what I was talking about. There is this line where black sacrifices the piece, but white king is in the center. And apparently, you know, it's +1 for white, but there have been many games where white was mated like in 10 moves from now, okay? So, you know, you can understand why white Cindarov played this move. He didn't want to get mated. But if you don't play that, the problem with this pawn move is that now you no longer have homogeneous pawn structure, yeah? Ideally, white wants to have pawns here, pawns here, pawns here, and control over the center and everything. With the pawn on a3, you no longer have that control. Yeah, c3 and Wait, he played... How many moves with his queen? First move, second move, third move with the queen. Okay, very logical. White just wants to make a draw. Yes, but... Yeah, the bishop trade, yeah. Because there is no c4. I mean, in addition to knight e3, there is also knight b6 and bishop e7. But most importantly, this queen, together with this rook, they create humongous spin on white position, and white cannot even castle. So, but if you don't trade the bishops, okay. But now white is worse, yeah? f5. And despite all that, black is not that much better. Despite all that, I'm not sure why bishop c5 is not played. I think he wanted to put the knight here, maybe, yeah? But bishop c5 makes a lot of sense. And then knight e7, yes, because this is the ideal diagonal for the bishop. Also, black potentially has g5, knight g6 ideas. Like, how does white get rid of the spin? Yeah, I don't know. So maybe queen e2. But then knight e3, right? So, I don't know. Eric Gacy probably played a little too fast here. See, we know it's a prep when you have 1 hour and 16 minutes after 16 moves. You know it's a prep. And your opponent has 24 minutes. Yeah. So bishop c5 was just advantage black. He plays this. Ah. And white misses a golden chance to equalize with bishop e3. Because of queen c5, you don't really have time for this. Because this guy is hanging, and if you play queen e7, this guy gets here and queen gets here. All right. So activity more important than the pawn. And after knight e6, black is better. Considering, yeah, black is just winning. Yeah, knight can get to e4, a4. My God, this is winning position, man. Oh, this is too academic. Sometimes being too academic is not that great. Yeah, I actually fully expected queen b3 here, because the endgame, with the pawns being fixed like that, bishop coming to c5, fast rook b8, bishop here, knight c5, black is winning, yeah? Knight c5 is reasonable, but queen a6 is academic. Very, very academic. Black is winning. Whoa, rook b5, rook d5. Wow. Come on, man. Come on. You should be able to see this. You're a grandmaster, man. You can see this idea. Brilliant idea. Okay, rook b7 is also not bad, actually. But black is winning here, yeah. h6, g5, very logical, actually. But okay, castle, safe. Black is safe. Safe advantage, but this is very strange move. You need the rook here, man. You need the rook here, and you need to go after this guy, which is why you need to play queen c4 and then knight c5, knight e4. If you play knight c5 immediately, you run to this, okay? That's why you need this. If you're scared of this, it's nothing. Because this guy prevents queen g3, there are no threats. Knight d3, queen a2, rook b1, queen g3. Okay. Yeah, this is not easy, yeah? Ah, you cannot take, wait, what I'm talking about. Yeah, the rook is hanging, yeah, with the check. Yeah, he had to calculate this line, which was probably, he was afraid of this. But if you calculate it correctly, black wins, yeah? There is no perpetual, really? Yeah, no perpetual because of queen f8. So queen g6. Yeah, just knight f1 because there is check on b3. 23. Oh, is it draw? Wow, okay. Okay, yeah, okay, it's a mate, 93. Just knight g3 also, yeah. Queen h1, rook b3. Queen e1 actually, wow. Finesse. A lot of finesses, yeah. And it's a mate. Yeah, okay, not simple. But that's how you win. Rook f7 is still winning. Still winning. But good chances for a draw now, yeah, because knight on b3 sucks. This guy sucks. You need the guy here. You're not getting it there though. Yep, g4 coming, and black starts to make mistakes, and white makes a mistake. And the reason is because you have this check and rook g1. So this is terrible move, which allowed black to win. Yes, that's the thing about Eric Gacy. I remember I noticed that his endgame was sometimes good, sometimes not. And I don't know if like years ago I showed you my game against him at the Bill Festival in the open tournament. We had exactly the same number of pawns on the king side, 5 pawns versus 5 pawns, but I had the better rook and the better bishop. And he lost that endgame to me, okay? Because when I was looking at his game, I noted that his endgame like could do better. So that's his problem. You know, normally the grandmaster is supposed to win this position. Normally you're supposed to win this. If you have extra pawn, you're supposed to win. Wow, Cindarov, what are you doing? Cindarov, oh my god. Now black is winning again. And black is doing something. Actually, it's correct. Yeah, actually, it's correct. Rook e1 is correct. This is correct. Okay. Okay, so he's doing good here, and black is winning. So how the fuck did this manage to make a draw? Oh. Ooh, okay. Huge threat of mates. Followed by h5. Okay. And h4 is a huge threat. No, but this is a draw, yeah. Yeah, I don't like this move. For starters, I don't like that move. I like this move and then just push the pawn. That should be win. That should be enough to win. Check because you just run the gauntlet, okay? You run the gauntlet. Why? Because black has 2 pawns. Yeah, 2 pawns are usually better than 1 pawn. And see, white is not in time, yeah, for sure. So just calculate this line, and the only thing I can think of here is if he pushes this guy, and then you force him to go after this pawn, then you play king h6. Yeah, but then you're right there, yeah, just to win. Yeah, this was very strange. It was very strange why he played this, because now he just attacks this pawn. And if you play c4, The only move, he finds it. Wow. If c3, rook f8. Yeah, just in time, yeah. Just in time to play. Actually, a4 is also a draw. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Amazing. But okay. He won the next game, yeah. He won the next game. Oh, really? You play open line against open Spanish against Indian players? That's suicide, man. You know, Indian players, they specialize on in this line. I had somebody from India play this against me at the Grand Swiss 4 years ago. It was easy draw for him. I got nothing. All right, let's see. D4 is standard, but bishop e7. Knight b3. Okay, famous, super sharp line. Huge theory. Huge theory. Bishop g3. Yeah, there is huge theory here. I cannot even start to describe to you how much theory there is here. A5 is logical. What is the problem? The problem is always this move, yeah? Because if you take with the queen, it's bishop c7. And if you take with the pawn, it's always knight e5, yeah? And this is a big pain in the ass endgame for black. You have to trade the queens or you're just getting mated. Maybe you can hold it, but it's pain in the ass. Alright, so you cannot play a5, the pawn cannot move, and what do? Big question, yeah? That's the problem with black position. So one of the ideas black has is to play f6 or f5 at some point, but yeah. Why I don't take with the rook on e5? Because of bishop g3, queen f3, hitting pawn and knight. And you take queen d5, centralization, and black is stuck with this weakness. Knight has to protect this pawn, and you hit this knight and hit this pawn. Yeah, the queen e8. Okay, the only inaccuracy by Ergasi. 24 is apparently a little bit better, and then just bishop g3. But his move wins the game, so I cannot be too hard on him. Knight. Oh. Okay. Yeah, because rook e1 looks very scary, yeah? Rook e1, and then rook e7. Bishop e7, or this. Yeah, even this looks terrible. But black is okay, according to the computer. But you give a pawn. Oh, no. No pawn. We don't want your pawn, yeah. Yeah, f5, yeah, looks reasonable. Bishop is very strong. f6, bishop h4 or f4. 26, advantage white. Rook e1, scaring him into centralization. Oh, we got another rook endgame, but it's draw. Wait a minute. So what happened? Oh, the guy is scared. He gave him a pawn. The guy is already scared. Yeah. I mean, white has a very clear plan to go with the king here. So I'm just wondering, what the hell is this? If king runs, black king also runs. Yeah. King g5, rook f1, rook d8 is a draw. Yeah, but if king c5, king runs here. Oh my god, this is such a crazy position. Rook d1. This requires actually very precise calculation. Very precise calculation is required here. Perfect attack. And then you attack this guy. Wow. And it's a draw, yeah, because king e3 is advantage white. Alright. Yeah, but if you have 29 minutes, you can calculate it. Rook c8 is like you're giving a pawn, and oh, this is bad. Yeah, rook d5, king f2, and then check, sure, and rook d3. Good chances to draw this game. What is this, b4? No, this is lost, yeah. The king is completely cut off and you just push. How can you play like this? Okay, so we know that Cindarov needs to work on his rook endgames now, yeah? He needs to work on his endgames. And rook h5, yeah, just wins. Yep. Alright. Knowledge of rook endgames really helps. If you don't know rook endgames, don't go to World Cup. Just kidding. Because chances are you're gonna run into rook endgame pretty much. Alright, first game. The killer from Hungary. Killing everybody. All the old veterans are being killed by this guy. Knight f6, unusual. Knight 97 is old theory. h4. Queen e1, first line. Pair of bishops for white. Advantage white, g4, okay. Yeah, white is just steamrolling on the queen side, thanks to pair of bishops. Rook d5. You need balls to play this move. You don't want to play this move in the World Cup though, yeah? Scary. Crazy beautiful, yeah? In the style of the great Tigran Petrosian. Amazing pawns. Amazing pawns. Also potentially amazing square for the knight. But okay, rook d2. And then I really don't like this move. Now you play rook d5 for sure, because there is no f6. Because with this pawn chain broken, you play this for sure. So knight c3, he wants knight d5, makes sense. Knight b3. Okay. A little bit early, rook b2 first. Oh, counter exchange sack. Except that white is completely winning after f4, yeah, and f5. And that's why white won. He beat Pono in this endgame. Actually, an amazing... Oh, Pono just blunders, but okay. It doesn't matter. This game is lost. Wow. Wow, okay. And white got advantage from the opening and kept it the whole game. So Ponomariov did not survive the opening. Yeah. Yeah. You know, yeah, Ponomariov's opening prep is like mine. He doesn't study openings much. So Berkes got him in the opening. Man, that's how you get the older guys. You get them in the openings because they don't study theory so much. That is correct. 97, bishop b5, famous line, but it's a bunch of trades, and bunch of trades is good for black because you just want the draw. Pair of bishops. Knight c4, queen d5, correct. Bishop f5. Perfect play by black. f4 is incorrect. Wow. First line moves, man. First line moves. Bishop b6 and queen f3. impossible to see if you don't know this. But rook c8 and rook d8. Yeah, you want to play queen b3, but the problem is that the big problem is this move, apparently, which is the only move, yeah? Wait, this is winning. Yeah, so he should have played this then, because this is not obvious. And you play this position being Ponomariov, and you try to grind down your opponents with a pawn up. Not easy, but good chances. Come on, Pono. You don't even get a pawn here, man. Because rook d5. What is rook d5? What is g6? Oh, bishop d6, yeah. And take on h2. Yeah, pair of bishops. Yeah, you try to win this, but chances are not good. Rook f7. I would play c4, yeah. Because now black has clear target, this pawn. Very clear targets. Bishop d7, c4. Oh. Yeah, it's a draw. It is a draw, yeah. Man. And also the correct corner. Tough, very well played and prepared by Berkes, yeah. I don't know this guy, but I'm looking at his games. This guy is doing his homework and playing excellent chess. Ponomariov out. Sadly, but true. That leaves the last match. Best for last, right, guys? Okay. No, 38 is not old. 38 is young. 38 is when I stopped playing professional chess. How to decide which events to play? You know, actually, I'm looking at the World Cup. I forgot how much fun it is. Next time, I would prefer to play in the World Cup instead of the Grand Swiss. Alright, what did I miss? Talking about Naka, blah, blah, blah. Bon clouds. Okay. Alright. I'm not even reading stuff when you type about Naka. Sorry. Okay. C4, knight f6. Okay, first game. Again, Indian prep. One of the best preps, yeah. Knight e6, bishop d7, first line. Rook b8, logical, e4. But this structure is not in Naka's style of play. I don't understand. Why would he want to play this? Black is better. Okay, not better, but he's got all the squares he wants. And you had to play b4. You had to play b4 immediately. Undermine this guy. And now queen d2. Oh, even then, bishop g4, yeah? Because after b4, look at this position. Pragna is -1. He's winning the game. Out of the opening, 20 moves played, black is better. Because Naka doesn't play the structures. He plays good structures really well, but not this kind of structures. And he is very lucky if he can make a draw here. Okay, but Pragna is Pragna, and he starts to play very solid. I don't know why you play this move. Nobody is gonna give you a check anytime soon. But what is the reason for a5, I wonder? What is the purpose of this move? How does black want to play this? Oh, 96. Right, and that's how you break the spin and you attack the pawn, and that's how you get advantage. Okay. Alright, so if he plays king h8, I'm pretty sure... Oh, we see, Naka sees it, yeah? g4, 96, and... oh, actually, no bishop g3. Why no bishop g3? That's the first move. Okay, I understand. Guys, Naka is on the honeymoon, okay? His prep during the honeymoon is not gonna be the best. Completely understandable. Okay? Because nobody in their right mind would prepare an opening for 5 fucking hours when you have a honeymoon. But you pay the cost for it. Okay? You pay the cost for, you know, being honeymoon vacation in the chess tournament. And after this, black is, without any arguments, huge advantage for black. I don't like this move. Bishop belongs on e6, obviously, yeah? Obviously. Bishop does not belong on c6, and white wants to play knight e3 anyway. And after knight c4, you trade this knight, and the worst is behind. And the worst is behind white, and he can actually look confidently into the future, because if you take this pawn, there is d4. There's no d4. Why is there no d4? Why there's no d4? Very strange. c4? Pragna? What are you doing? I mean, a5 connecting the pawns and creating the pass juicer is what you want to do. I guess you want to play queen c5 and make sure it's a draw. Okay. Yeah. c4 guarantees a draw. Almost. Except rook d5, white is winning now. See? That's what happens when you don't work in the game. You have to work, and you have to calculate really well when you play guys like Naka. Naka is a natural calculator. He is extremely also creative, finding all these ways to wiggle out of bad positions and then outplay you. Yeah, you need to be very, very accurate. Pragna was huge advantage, and now he's almost lost. Almost lost. This is kind of crazy. I mean, come on, Naka. King e3, king t4. What is the problem? a3, b3. Okay. And you always have bishop d3 anyway, and king is right here. So, oh, actually, the computer finds a beautiful way to play this. Rook d2 stops this. Bishop here. And bishop d3 just wins, yeah? Okay, so, yeah, so king e3, bishop d3 is a very strange move. Okay, king comes. And now, okay, c5, I like c5. Wrong move. See, even Naka is not accurate. Yeah, rook a1 and bishop c4 because you attacked this pawn. Bishop c2. Force b3 and rook returns. Okay. And rook a3 probably, yeah? Because now you want to hit this guy with bishop b5, so... Huge problem for black. Huge problem for black. But okay, you know, I have an engine next to me, so I see what works and what doesn't. So for me it's very easy. But for these guys, seeing the stuff at the board, this borders on a study, okay? This stuff borders on a study. It has to be very, very precise. Each move in correct sequence. a3, perfect defense. Actually, this. And rook a7. Alright, Pragna is actually concentrating and getting back. And he is better again. But okay, Naka had enough and offered the draw. Smart choice, because Naka is worse. You see, Naka, when he smells that he's getting worse, timely or draw offer. Experience tells you. things, yeah. Timely draw offer is important. All right. Now, a mirror situation. Now, Praggnanandhaa playing c4. Naka played c4 in the previous game, and now they play c4. So they're discussing English opening. I like to see this. Naka playing old line. This is very old line played by Iranian like 20 years ago. G4 is new. I've never seen this. But this is first line comp. The tiebreak is going to be tomorrow. I'll commentate it. Yeah, he said that he had minutes and it looked like he can lose that. True. Oh, he did the recap also. Okay, good. Wait, Naka is doing recaps during honeymoon and playing the World Cup chess tournament? He really has time to do the recaps? He's crazy, man. He really wants to get eliminated. Even with his talents, huge gifts, huge understanding, huge experience, that's taking a huge risk. Doing recaps and the honeymoon and God knows what. My God, that's crazy. Okay. Living Dangerously, Living La Vida Loca. That song, I don't know. Guys, is Living La Vida Loca still a popular song these days? Or is it considered to be a dinosaur age song? First line. Wait, that's Praggnanandhaa's prep. Yeah, that's Praggnanandhaa doing this prep to Naka. Okay, I'm wondering like what the hell's going on. Yeah, and this is kind of weird. There was absolutely no reason to give you this pawn. Why would you want to give this pawn? But I guess it's a prep, yeah? Naka plays first line moves, obviously. And if you play f3, it's just vanilla position. But d4 spices things up. Jurassic Age song, I see. A bit old. I see. Yeah, technically tiebreaks is today, correct. Alright, so d4 spices things up. It's also a psychological move because, you know, it is very scary to take this pawn. But we're out of prep because Praggnanandhaa is 47 minutes, means he is out of prep. Yes, and bishop d4 now, you have to calculate f3, e4, knight e4. This looks pretty scary if you don't know what you're doing. So e4 is normal move. Is f6 playable? Probably not, because this pin is kinda too much. Yeah. So that's why e4 gave the pawn back, but very nice d5. Disconnecting, creating weakness. And Praggnanandhaa doesn't play h3, but knight e4 is very solid. Bishop g6, computer likes bishop h7, but bishop g6 is human, prevents knight h5. Black has a pair of bishops and a huge potential for the counter on the white king, yeah? So white has to be actually very careful here. Bishop d2, fantastic move. Preparing e4, f3 or e4 and f4. Long castle, safe choice. e4. Bishop h4 first, I guess, but wait, bishop h7. Yeah, I'm wondering why f5 is not played. Yeah, my guess is knight e2 also. And then here knight to e6 or something, but yeah, it looks okay. So bishop h7. Run with the king. Again, safe play. Yeah, these guys are playing safe first. They don't want to take risk. Queen d3 looks very logical to stop f5, and then you want to play bishop c3 and knight f5. Yeah, because knight f5 now is kind of becomes possible. First bishop c3, of course. Because if you play rook f8, bishop c3, f5, e5, and this is pinned, okay? And the reason is if you play f6, here, check, you'll have to take this knight, and potentially this is huge. See, 0.8. You have to play exactly like computer says, you have to play this. You have to channel Tigran Petrosian and do this exchange sack, where you can take this pawn and block white rooks from, you know, penetrating black's king side, yeah. But it's advantage white. But he plays king b1. He wants to be absolutely safe, put the king completely out of any danger, and then continue some strategic discussion. And I don't like this move. f5 and okay. So the problem with f5 is that you always have to look out for e5. This is an obvious move. And the question is why this move, this obvious move, wasn't played, because now this bishop is dead. White has removed this pawn, means that this pawn becomes really weak, which means white will have potentially huge attack against black king, where this bishop will not be able to take part in the defense. This is why black position is so dangerous. But also bishop can go this way, yeah? You see the difference in the bishops? All it took was a pawn. But this pawn is completely meaningless, while white has, you know, again, b4, bishop cutting off black king. You go for b4, rook b1, rook b8. Very, very dangerous stuff. Yeah, e5 had to be calculated. I don't know. Probably scary, but, you know, normally both of these grandmasters in a blitz game, I'm pretty sure in the blitz game they will play e5. Pretty sure, because this move is obvious. Taking on f5 is just a draw. So my guess is that they didn't want to take risk and they want to take the game to the tie breaks, but in the tie breaks, Naka is favored, of course. I'm not saying Praggnanandhaa is bad. He is actually pretty good in blitz and rapids. A lot of experience, but Naka is like certainly is a unique player. And this is just a draw, yeah? There was no need to play this, yeah, just black can just stand, but okay. Bishop e4, okay, yeah, he forces the pawn to move. And it's a draw. All right, that was the last match of today, classical portion. Today, in about 12 hours, maybe even less, the tie breaks will start. Let's go see the tie breaks again, once again. So, tie breaks. Magnus, huge chances to win. Sanal versus Ivanchuk. I fear for Vasily, but if he channels his genius tomorrow, he wins. Sven versus Van Gogh. I didn't even look at the classical portion. Two solid guys playing, boring. Somebody wins, who cares? Ousepienko versus Gukesh, a lot more fun. Gukesh has the initiative, but he missed some chances, yeah? So hopefully tomorrow and I'm not sure about his rapid and blitz skills. I think Ousepienko is better in the rapid and blitz than Gukesh, more experience. Abasov versus Svidler. Svidler is actually very good in the rapids, but Abasov is very dangerous. Equal chances, actually. Okay, Bacrot versus Salem. Bacrot surprised me. He beat Dubov and he beat Volakitin. Amazingly strong players. Will he pass Salem? I don't know. Salem is incredibly interesting match, to be honest. Vidit is gonna play the winner of this group, yeah? Wait, or not? I don't know. Nihal versus Nepo. Nepo is a little bit favorite. Fabi doesn't need to play tie breaks. Duda is a favorite. In rapid games, Maksudlu is not as dangerous as in classical, but he is pretty fast blitz player. So it depends. It depends, but they know each other really well from Bundesligas and everything. I think in the rapid, Maksudlu is good. In the blitz, who knows? I think Duda is slightly more favorite. Dominguez versus Wojtaszek. Wojtaszek again surprised me a little bit, but yeah, it's not going to be an easy match for Dominguez, but Dominguez is a slight favorite. Sarana wins in classical, amazing. Grandelis wins in classical, also amazing. Came out of nowhere, beat a bunch of strong grandmasters like Amin and Santos. I didn't think he could beat Santos, but he did. Berkes wins, right? Berkes wins. And of course, the biggest match tomorrow is Praggnanandhaa versus Nakamura. You know, despite anything I say about Naka, I want him to win. I root for Naka. You know, we go way back, like we're sort of frenemies, yeah. And I want to see Naka versus Magnus final. See, they're on the opposite sides of each other. It's a very rocky start for Magnus. Naka is playing way more solidly, demonstrating maturity that comes with responsibilities of married life, I guess. No, but I am actually very happy for Naka that he got married. You know, very happy. So, all right, that's my predictions. Okay. What are the percentage for Nepo versus Nihal? The percentage is actually not that large. I would say it's about 60-40 for Nepo, which is saying like, I didn't want to say it's 55-45 because that's just, you know, being not picking stuff, yeah? So let's go like 60, 70, 80, 90, and that's not 70-30 for sure. 65, again, I don't want to go into these small differences. For me, it's 60-40. Nihal is also 60-40. Okay? But if it gets to blitz, it's 80-22 for Naka. So, I don't know. Yeah, if Naka gets... The less time he's got, the more chances he has to win, okay? That's how things are progressing. And that's why I say 60-40, because yes, I remember that Praggnanandhaa was pretty good in rapids, but Naka, again, is number 3 in the world, yeah? It's not Praggnanandhaa who is number 3 in the world, it's Nakamura who is number 3 in the world. And it's also a reason that Naka beats Magnus and he is a speed chess champion on Chess.com. There is also a reason why he's a multiple-time title Tuesdays, rapid events winner, okay? There is a reason why he is number 3 in the world and it's not Praggnanandhaa. Okay, so I'm taking all that into consideration. All right, I could be wrong, but I just tell you what I think. You know, I don't have to be correct. I'm not a fucking prophet. All right, guys, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's been what, almost like 4 hours. I'm pretty tired. I need, especially if you want me to do the recap today. Do you guys want me to do the recap of the tie breaks? Because nobody wants me to do the recap. I'm not gonna do it. Do you guys want me to do the recaps or what? Yes? Yes? Okay, please. Fine. I hear you. All right. So, but if you want me to do the recap, can you please support your streamer? Because I think there was only just 1 subscriber today. And guys, I can only do this stuff because, you know, I don't have any income. So don't forget to support your streamer, okay? Especially if you like my recaps. And if you don't want to subscribe, can you go to my YouTubes and click like on those videos at least? Because I put those recaps on YouTube, okay? Can you at least hit the follow, subscribe on my YouTube? All right, so I'll see you guys later today, okay? Thank you so much. Yes, Mr. 11 years. I really appreciate it. And thank you for gifting subs to the community. Really appreciate it. All right, Mr. Nefedov, good night. Good night, everybody.